Hello, adventurers, and welcome to Grognard and Friends, where friends gather to explore the world of the Aria and play Dungeons and Dragons. A quick reminder that on Sunday, August 7th, Grognard and Friends will go dark for the evening. We will happily be back the following week with renewed energy and excitement and possibly a special surprise for all of you friends. And speaking of the friends, let's check out this week's episode of Grognard and Friends. When last we left the friends in the middle of the night, Reed had discovered a possible band of bandits and thieves and some dead bodies. Gaius, always on the lookout for new friends, decided to speak with the fresh corpses and discovered what had transpired. Then, continuing on, the friends came across not only the family of some of the corpses, but also some disturbing scarecrows as they traveled through the miles of farmland. And with dark mountains visible in the distance over and past a thick tree line, they came upon a fallow field between the path and the woods filled with black birds that suddenly took notice of them. Friends, what do you do?
If we don't have to, we don't kill a bunch of random birds. Unless they're circling a body or something. Are they crows or are they carrion birds?
Looking at them as they look at you looking at them, there are...
Look at him.
They're not like circling above, right, Paul? That's what I basically like.
There are some circling above, high up in the air, but the ones on the ground and in the trees around this fallow field that's surrounded on two sides by trees and part of a section of woods, there are easily hundreds, if not thousands, of these birds. They're looking at them. You can see mostly crows, the occasional raven, even blackbirds and grackles, and all manner of blackbirds that many of them are in the field, just kind of picking through the soil for little bits and bugs and such, in the trees, just kind of hanging out. Since you kind of stopped and took notice of them, they seem to have stopped and are taking notice of you. Many of them, the crows especially, are quite large, as are the occasional ravens. In the occasional tree, and even one or two on the ground, are exceptionally big. That while they look to be ravens or crows, they are bordering on the size of carrion scavenging birds.
It doesn't look like they're picking at a particular bunch of bodies or anything, so I think we're just going to avoid them.
Yeah, let's keep riding. I'm already there.
I think that's the group consensus. We're just going to go around the birds.
Okay. The field in which they're in is off to the right of the path. And as you continue on, it's, the birds just seem to kind of watch you as you continue on.
Well, I
think they're looking at my bunny. Yeah, I think they're looking at my bunny.
I'm almost certain your bunny could... If one of them got near, I'm pretty sure it would wrestle it to the ground and eat it. I would bet money on your bunny. You hear me, little guy? I have confidence in you could take one of those birds down. Easy. Multiple if they came one at a time.
Eldred goes, I'd take that bet. Have you seen the size of some of these things?
You haven't seen what this bunny could do.
Reed, take out your bunny for a minute. How much you want to bet this?
No, I'm not putting the bunny in danger. No.
I don't think your bunny would be in any danger.
Plus, it's out in the middle of nowhere, and it witnessed us taking on a bunch of bandits and stuff. So, I mean, it's in a very risky environment as is.
I still have more confidence in that animal than I guess the rest of you do. Okay, but anyway.
I just think they could swarm it. I don't want to risk it.
I still kind of have faith in the bunny, but all right.
Okay, so you continue on. Eventually, after 15 minutes to 20 minutes, the field is out of view behind you, and it is just tree line to the right To the left is the occasional trees, but like a little slope down towards the lake. You travel for about another hour or so, and you start to hear the sound of water, rushing water.
I think we found a waterfall, or just a stream,
or river. Yeah.
You are correct. As you get closer, you do see an actual river up ahead.
Looking at the map, there looks like a road. We can head north, basically follow the river north, and we should get to Forest Grove. Yay! Otherwise, I'm going to want my money back for this map.
You do. You come to a river. The river's quite large. Someone give me a perception check. And if someone wants to help, that's fine.
I can help. Oh, okay.
We'll both perceive. Help.
We all know who in the group is the most perceptive.
27.
Yep.
21. Whatever I see.
Okay. So this is a pretty big river.
Survivalist cleric I am.
It's maybe a half mile to 3/4 of a mile across. The water's rushing pretty steadily. You see it kind of go down past, and where it hits the lake, the water just is very turbulent and frothy, and the two bodies of water meeting creates a rumbling that kind of it makes communicating occasionally between the two of you a little. You have to speak up a little bit to hear each other.
So, Paul, is there I'm sorry, never mind. I thought you were done describing. Go. I'll wait. I was wondering if it's a gradual slope toward the water, or if it kind of like dead cuts off.
It's a gradual slope. The path you're on, the road you're on, does turn north, which will then have the river to your left and the trees, the woods to your right. The trees are lush green trees. It's a pretty thick bit of forest, but not as thick and as the forest on the other side of the river. And with a of 27, I'm going to say that if you look directly across the river from the path, it looks like on the other side of the river into the woods a fair amount. Looks like there might be a clearing. And around that area, you see lots of flowering trees with pale blue flowers and pink and white flowers. And you can see these blossoms through the foliage as you look through there, because this clearing seems to be pretty well lit. So there's not a heavy canopy like you notice with the rest of the woods.
I guess we could water the horses here briefly. And is the water like very cold to the touch? Like, does it feel like it's mountain melt that's feeding this?
Yeah, it feels. It's not frigid, but it is cool and cold. It's colder than the lake water that you remember from before when you've gotten water for your horses.
Okay, so it's not necessarily getting all of its water from mountain snow melt. Gotcha. Okay.
Well, it could have been a long travel. It could have been a long travel down.
Seems like we're on the right track. Anyone need to take a $5, or everyone good? Horses, water?
I mean, if we're gonna stop for a few minutes, I mean, I kind of missed the baths at the stone's throw. I wouldn't mind jumping in for a minute.
Okay. Yeah, let's take a quick 10, 15 and just clean up a little bit. Because looking at this map, Paul, am I able to intuit from the distance we traveled in relation to the map how far away from Forest Grove we might be now? Are we kind of close by, or do we still have a couple days?
I would say that roll me a survival check, please.
Yep, no, I'm good.
It might be, you might get there by the week's end.
Clean up a little bit, but basically wait, just in case we see people. I don't want to look like a homeless person.
Well, gee, Eldred and I got a jump start on getting clean with that lye soap.
Well, you didn't have to use it. It's just what I had. I use it on myself when I go from the sewer to back to life out in the nastiness that was the sewer. I just use the good stuff when I'm not. Anywho, we carry on.
Sure.
We carry on.
My wayward sons.
You, those of you who bathed, it wakes you up. You are very renewed, and with this vigorous bath you've taken from this chill water, it's not frosty, but it is brisk, we'll say. You get out, dry off, and get your stuff back on. And where are you headed from here?
It looks like with the map, there's a path that just kind of follows the river north. Following that?
Okay, you go about 2 more hours. Gaius, give me a perception check.
14.
I miss second breakfast.
Reed, give me a
Listen,
perception
man,
check.
I don't think we're allowed to say that. That might be copywritten.
No. It's
Now,
just
second
breakfast.
lunch.
Eldred says he likes to have a second breakfast. I think he's okay.
Yeah,
11Z's might be copyright. I don't know.
That's just brunch.
16, Paul.
I could go for a
Okay.
good brunch right now.
Both, all of you will say. By the way, Nikita just is kind of just remaining quiet and still kind of worn out from everything she's been through.
Resting off that extra point of exhaustion.
Exactly. And after dying twice in the past couple days.
Yeah, not the most invigorating.
But the rest of you you're catching a little whiff in the air of, it's a little bit of wood smoke, but what's really catching your nostrils, especially you, Reed, is a smell of, you can tell the smell of meat, roasted meats, but also of like some pastry. It's a smell of pastry and roasting meats.
Ooh. Do you guys smell that? Somebody's cooking. We might be able to
I did get a
share.
whiff of it.
Yeah, we could be. Maybe we should find them. Maybe if it's the bandits, we'll catch them.
I'm almost certain bandits don't make baked goods. Now, that could just be me, and I could be slighting bandits everywhere by saying
Maybe they're
that.
soft inside.
Yeah, it could be.
They're the bandits of Croissant.
The Pillsbury Bandit Boys.
Question
Pillsbury
with
game.
changes.
I think
Anyway, yes.
we should check it out. There might be
Okay.
some decent food there.
Okay, you continue north about another 10 minutes, and up ahead you see what looks like on the right-hand side at the tree line, a kind of a wagon / cart with a fire and a tarp kind of strung up from the trees up to around the cart. The cart is set up with the side facing you and the back having shelves, kind of wooden shelves that have folded out, and there appears to be stuff on them. And there's a fire and some baskets around and things like that.
Maybe a traveling merchant. Maybe does it look like that?
It looks like a possibility of it. And the closer you get, you see now coming from behind the cart a young woman, maybe early to mid-20s, dressed in what used to be referred to as peasant dress, but kind of looks like she fell off a mid-70s Heart album cover. Dressed kind of with a blouse that's down off the shoulders, kind of a bodice that's laced up in the front and back, and a flowing green gown.
Are we walking the horses, or are we walking the horses, or are we on them?
I think we were riding to a certain extent. I mean, some of us were probably hopping off to let Nikita rest up more.
Okay.
So maybe we were taking turns riding one horse and to increase the speed a little bit, but helping people rest as well.
I think we should make double time here. Let's get over there.
We're not going anywhere.
No, but it's been hours of traveling. We should get food.
as you get closer, you can smell the food really kind of filling your nostrils, and it's kind of making your mouth water a little bit, Reed. And as you get closer by the wagon and the tarp and everything, you see some things on the fire. You see a couple pots. You see some things kind of in the coals, and on the wagon itself, you see some different things. It's set up where there's some kind of trays set up with candles underneath them. In front are some baskets with apples, things like that. And the young woman sees you, and she has long black hair that shines in the sunlight, large eyes, and she just smiles, and you hear her say, travelers, welcome. Come over,
Well,
rest yourselves for a little bit.
We are hungry and could use a rest. Whatever you're making.
Did you say that?
Smells very good. Yes.
Yeah, it's they're pies. I make them myself. I do everything for them myself. I make the pastry. It's a old family recipe, and I catch all the game myself. I grow the vegetables, and very proud of my recipe. Number of secret ingredients. So I think you'd like it.
I'm sure I will. Why are you set up out here?
Just for people coming and going from Forest Grove. Depending on the time of day, it can get a little busy, and it's at one of those points where people seem to get a little peckish and hungry. So.
Well, that's nice. And what's your name?
Oh, people around these parts just call me BJ.
BJ. Well, my name is Bud Trumpet.
Very nice to meet you, my little blue friend. And
I'm
looks
Reed.
to you, Reed.
I'm Reed.
Very nice to meet you, young man. And then turns to your cleric and says, "And who is this large, strapping young man?"
That is our Papa Gaius.
Papa Gaius.
Yes.
Very nice to meet you, Papa Gaius.
What? No, sorry. I was taking care of the horses in the background and definitely not getting a burrito. Anywho.
Well, I don't have any of these burritos of which you speak, but I do have meat pies.
It was a delicacy from where I'm from, and near Mohaim. Oh, you haven't heard of burritos before?
Oh, headcanon. Gaius is Mexican.
I would like to think of myself as Tex-Mex, but whatever.
I am a taco cleric.
Can't you tell by my name, Gaius?
Oh, and our very tall friend Eldred.
He says, "Hello," and she goes,
And you don't want to wake the dwarf. She's very tired, but her name's Nikita. She's just resting.
I draw a little sign and hang it around Nikita's neck that says, "Don't wake the dwarf."
Okay. You hear her snoring away on the horseback. Says, "Well, I have cider, I have cool water, I have meat pies, apples, nuts. Can I interest you in any of these things? The pies are nice and warm.
Mm-hmm.
The cider is your choice. I have hot cider and cold cider. The water is cold."
Yes. Yes, I will like some.
I mean, it all sounds fantastic. I have to ask, are you from Forest Grove, dear lady?
I have been from the land around Forest Grove for quite a while. I make my life in the woods, and that's where I hunt and grow things, and just I'm able to travel around this area and sell my little delicacies and eke out a living that way, and it makes me happy.
Oh, well, that's all we can truly ask for. I will definitely partake of a cold cider and so many different pies you've offered. Do you have sweet or savory, or is there a mix?
Well, what I have today are the meat pies, uh, which I think you would call savory, although some of the meats can be rather sweet naturally.
I have to ask, how many stoats have gone into the making of these pies?
Oh, I don't. There aren't many stoats around this area.
Oh, excellent. Thank Bacchus. Yes, I will have one of.
What?
I will partake of a pie as well.
So he hands you one, and you can feel it's still kind of warm. The outside, the pastry's crispy, and it's smells very good. The steam coming off out of the vents out of the top of it.
I would also like a pie.
She gets one for each of you,
Excellent.
and
Is,
Eldred partakes as well.
It's not.
No,
It's
I
not
have-
rabbit, right?
It there might be a little rabbit in there. It's mostly game that I've been able to hunt myself. It's things from the wood. Sometimes it's larger animals. Sometimes it's smaller. The meat
We
blend
Turn
usually is a
the
blend
bunny
of meat.
around.
Oh, he's fine. He'll eat rabbit just fine.
He probably would. Yeah.
Would you
Slightly cannibalistic bunny, but whatever.
Jesus, what?
Oh, we've noticed that this particular bunny can eat meat. So
Interesting.
yeah, it's magical in nature. We believe that it became an omnivore because of that. Interesting, and you can tell by how large it is too. That's not normal either.
Reed, do you have the bunny out?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Describe the bunny for this young lady.
Oh, I hold it up to show. I said, "Look at the colors, the
Oh my
buddies." Yeah, and it got bigger. It's been eating stuff, kind of like Gaia said. It eats meat,
Pretty much anything.
but it's very friendly and it's very smart. And I just didn't want to eat
One of
rabbit in
those.
front of it. But yeah.
Well, there aren't going to be any ears sticking out of the pie, young man, so you don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
And there's no fuzzy tail on the end of it either, so I think you'll be fine.
No, that would-
It's also
Yeah.
it's a blend of meats. So.
Okay. I mean, it smells delicious, so
Oh,
I would
good.
like a pie, and if I have enough coin, maybe some apples and stuff for when we leave.
Certainly. And if you don't, I'm sure we can work something out.
And I'll take some
How
cider
much
too.
would
Cider?
how much would the pie and the cider and all this? How much do you usually charge per pie? We'll start there.
A silver for a pie usually.
Oh, we're good. We're good. I have to ask as well. You've been around the area now. Granted, you're not from Forest Grove, but we've been dispatched from Seven Rivers to assist with a missing child from Forest Grove. And we're
Really?
curious if you have heard anything about that in your wanderings.
Do you know who this child is?
Yes, it is. Hold on. And Gaius brings out his notebook, puts his glasses on. Oh, It is Silas Marner's child. Veronica?
The merchant.
Yes, that's the one.
When your dwarf friend wakes up, you may want to warn her about him. He's quite the ladies' man. Really likes the young ladies.
Okay. That's not creepy at all.
Is Silas Marner a dwarf, or does he
No.
just like
He's a
young
human
ladies of
like
all types?
like your tall, strapping young friend over here, and who's
Eldred's
enjoying
not
his
strapping.
pie. He's not
Oh,
strapping.
you mean guys? No.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm both tall and strapping and handsome. Thank you. Anywho,
I thought she was pointing to Eldred. I'm sorry.
And she looks at you and says, "Yes, very handsome young man."
No,
Sir.
but believe me, I know what I can do. It's more of just
And confident
some
as
bad
well.
things. Some would say overtly so. But hey,
Confidence is never a bad thing.
when it borders on arrogance, believe me, if you think I'm confident now, you should have met younger me. I was an a-hole. Yeah,
You were
that's a scary
worse?
thought, right? Oh, Bacchus, yeah. I didn't listen. I didn't actually willingly become a part of the religion, so to speak. So it was more of like this or death. I think was kind of like the vibe I believe that was going on. So
It was
I
just
think
like
it won
it was
out in
probably
the end.
like your wizardly powers came out and you had to drink wine to
Oh,
do
it
it,
was
right?
more
So
of no, it was more of like I think I was squander. It was somebody caught squandering my life, and then through basically my parents being wonderful human beings and just taking care of their piece of shit son, I was lucky enough for a second chance. We'll leave it at that. And because of that, I discovered that I, in fact, do have some magic about me.
So you're not only a handsome young man, you're one that casts spells as well.
we call him a wine
I,
wizard. He's very powerful.
he's the only one who does that mostly. Um, yeah, I know some magic here and there.
Boy, you sound more and more like quite the catch.
I have been known to be considered that, yes. I'm hoping you don't lean literal like
Reed's gonna
in
take
a
his pie
trap.
and just back up and just watch. Ooh, what's happening here?
I'll huddle up with Reed.
Do you see this?
Eldred sees this and says, "Ah, young Master Reed, watch and learn from the hands of a master."
As I
And he just
take my
looks
foot
over and
and
sticks
shoves
his
it directly in
chin
my
on
mouth.
his hands and watches as he eats his pie.
Anyway, yeah, that's enough. Me. Anywho,
No,
yes.
please go on. I'm fascinated. And
We
she
have time,
kinda
guys. Go ahead.
sidles up next to you and says, "Here, have a seat on this log and tell me."
Okay. This is awkward. So no, this is more of me trying to find out. So you don't know anything about Veronica going missing?
No, I just I know the merchant from reputation.
Bit of a dirtbag. I got you. Yeah, I've
I
ran
did
into
not say
those.
that. I do not
Well,
speak ill
oh, don't worry. I can take care of
of
that for
people
you.
and their passions.
Well, listen. I'm a god. I support a god that's mostly about passions and their lack
Oh,
of
do tell.
restraint. Uh, yes, I am Bacchus. About. Have you heard of Bacchanalias before? Hold on. Pulls out a pamphlet. There you go.
She
Basically,
opens it up and you immediately see like her cheeks flush, her eyes go wider, and they're quite large, dark, large eyes with on this milky white skin to begin with, and she just kind of puts a hand to her mouth and says, "Oh,
yes. So, anywho, that's basically the religion I tout. Peace and love and sensutude. And, there's a couple other things we kind of do.
oh,
But
do tell."
basically, yeah. Well, no, actually, I probably shouldn't because of the people around. Anywho, I'm almost certain the goblet is not old enough to hear some of this. Butt Trumpet, what is the average age of maturity amongst goblets? Or goblins? Or whatever. Okay, exactly. So I'm going to restrain my chatting at the moment and talk about other things.
A bit patronized, but alright.
It's not patronizing. It's more of I don't want to scar my friends with.
I have been in Happy Harry's. We have walked through sewage and seen so much death. Nothing can affect me at this point.
Well, I mean, the Happy Harry's thing is definitely close to what I was talking about, but on a different scale. Like Happy Harry's is like over here, and we're more over there, but we're all on the same kind of spectrum. Anyway, this pie is delicious, and
Oh, thank
so
you.
is the cider. Do you do all of this yourself?
Yes, I do. Thank you so much for noticing. And it is quite good. It is really good. The gravy just has a certain amount of richness to it. The meat is very tender. There are potatoes and carrots and a few other root vegetables in there that you're not 100% sure what they are. They might be wild parsnips. There's a little bit of onion. You catch a number of wild herbs in there. The pastry is nice and crisp but flaky at the same time, and it is very good.
We
The
should we
cider
should get
is
some of these. We should get some of these pies to go.
I was going
You
to
know,
say I need to get
for
this recipe
oh
because
you
this
could
is all
make
a wild game you find in the woods, and you can make it taste like this. I need to know how you do that. Do
uh,
you know magic?
I have been told that my pies seem like a thing of magic by one or
They
two
certainly
people.
taste magical, but they are good. So is the cider. So we don't know anything about. Oh, I'm curious. Do you know anything about the history of Forest Grove at all? Because I've heard a strange tale. Well, not a strange tale, I would say, but that the current Forest Grove isn't on the original Forest Grove location.
Oh, really?
Mm. That's the rumor I heard from one traveler. Interesting little tale. Haven't found out much about Forest Grove. Oh, par chance, where do you plan on traveling next? Are you heading south and east? Because there is a extremely large amount of crows, and guys gives her directions to that fallow field where they were at.
Really?
Crows, blackbirds, a bunch of birds in general. It's kind of a little unsettling. Kind of like how creepy the scarecrows are around here.
The
Have you noticed that?
scarecrows?
Yes.
No. I don't usually
On the
travel on farmers' lands.
Oh well, it was. We were traveling on the road, but in the distance we saw these scarecrows, and then one night I thought I heard a noise, and when I approached, like the smell coming out of it, was like these giant wasps had made a nest on it. Oh yes, it was
very creepy.
That sounds
Yeah.
very
Also,
scary.
also hadn't seen wasps that size before. Is that a thing in these woods, an area?
I don't see many wasps in the woods.
They were like
Where
this
were?
big.
Yeah, they
That's
were.
not large. That's huge.
Yeah, they were. Not right is the best way to describe it, but you could definitely the nests you could smell was almost like raw sewage or decay of some kind.
Well,
I
that
don't.
just sounds horrible.
Well, needless to say, if you are traveling south and then heading east towards Seven Rivers, one of those scarecrows looks like it kind of had a nest on it. So just be aware and
Well, I'll
maybe
tell you
stay
what.
lakeside.
Am I correct in assuming that you're going to head up to Forest Grove from here?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You piqued my curiosity in a number of ways. I am going to go down south of here and check out these crows that you told me about and see what sort of birds are down there. If I'm going by the lake, I might want to just throw my line in there, and I've been known to make fish pies as well, so who knows?
Well, most certainly, if we happen to pass your card again, we will be stopping for more refreshments. I can tell you that much.
Well, I am very happy to hear about that. I also am around this area. You are not more than an hour or two from Forest Grove. So
Okay.
Excellent.
I wander these woods looking for ingredients, as it were, and little things here and there. So I would look forward to seeing you again, all of you, as she kind of, Guy, as you see her large dark eyes meet yours and just kind of sparkle in the sunlight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that'd be great. And if once she goes off to do something, I lean over to read. What was her name again?
BJ.
Just BJ?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's. All right. Why are you all doing that? Don't make this weirder than it needs to be. I'm a charming person. This is not a surprise to me.
I think you charmed her.
BJ over
I'm
by
almost-
the cart says, "How many pies and how many pies would you like for the road, and how many apples?"
I think another. If we're an hour away from Forest Grove, I think another one apiece would
Okay.
be good. And apples, I don't know. You know what? Handful so I can give the horses and whatnot.
Okay.
I want
And
some
she
too.
goes about
Couple.
starting to pack those up for you.
I can pay for this, guys. Is that okay?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll do it, but if you want to, sure.
Would you like
Nah, I
one
got
for
it.
your sleeping friend as well?
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
she's gonna be hungry.
We'll take one.
Uh,
I'm cranky, most likely. But that's just
Mhm.
standard. That's not even after sleeping.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Watch.
I will pack these up, and for the pies, it will be 5 silver pieces,
Okay.
and for the apples on top of it, I'll tell you what. And she looks at you, Gaius, and says, "You have intrigued me, sir. I will throw
I'm
in the
intriguing.
apples for just simply a kiss."
Okay. Barter system. I have done that before, sure.
And I hope that that'll go towards us meeting again, and you can tell me more about this pamphlet and your religion and all these other things that you said you were known for.
Guys,
Oh,
she's
how
a
do you
winner.
know
She
this?
likes your pamphlet.
I mean, a lot of people, I think, do. I mean, they like it so much they're like, I got it all, and then hand it back immediately. Or they ignore me. But hey, yeah, no, sure. That sounds great. BJ?
Wonderful. She she hands you a small parcel of linen that has been tied up with twine with a little flower tucked in the top. These are the pies, and she
Okay.
hands you comes over very close to you, Gaius, and hands you a sack, and these are the apples.
Oh, well. Much appreciated.
And she takes you by the hand and just kind of looks at you, smiling.
At which point, Gaius puts one hand around the back of her neck and her waist, and then kind of like dips down, does a kiss, 3 count, brings her back up, and then steps
Okay.
back.
She stands up and looks like a little out of breath and stunned and says, "Oh, do that again."
Well, we'll have to leave you waiting, wanting more, my dear. It's something to look forward to, if you will.
So no tip.
Grabs her hand, pulls her in real quick, and just instead of doing the full dip, just puts one on her for like 2 seconds and then steps back. He's like, "Yep."
Well, you do
pies
that,
were
and
very
she
good.
kind of takes the back of your head and gives you a little bit more of a passionate kiss.
Oh.
And do you acquiesce to that?
Oh yeah, nah, he lives in the
Okay.
moment.
Is important.
Reed,
I'm
you
pretty
noticed that
I'm
the
I'm
first
dead
kiss you thought was quite hot. The second kiss seems to go on for like, you're like, wow, I didn't know kisses went on that long.
I lean over to Butt Trumpet. I'm like, they're gonna make babies.
Is that how that works?
now. No,
I
it's
think
you
it's
lay
different
hands.
This is
That's
step
what
one.
humans do.
She just kind of
Do I feel
Smacks
the
her-
soul being sucked into my body, Paul, or anything like that?
not at all, not at all. You see
Making sure,
you
just
see
making
the-
sure my luck. I didn't meet a succubus on the side of the road. All right, good.
she's a little flushed and says, "I am so glad that you stopped by, that our paths met today, and I look forward
Oh.
to seeing all of you again. And I wish you happy days in Forest Grove, and
Oh,
good
yes,
luck
and
in
please.
your pursuits of this young lady."
Oh, and please, BJ, be aware. A couple days down the road, east towards Seven Rivers, we ran into some bandits. They'd not hurt. They had killed Johann Worthington and some of his family members. We're
That's-
bringing the bad news we've already told some of them. We're bringing the bad news to the rest of them in town. But please, just be aware that there are bandits on the road, and
Well,
they are not kind. They killed men,
appreciate you
women,
telling.
and some of those girls were young.
I appreciate you caring for my well-being by letting me know. That goes a long way in these days.
I hate to leave it on such a somber note, but I definitely wanted to make sure I passed along that very vital information
Well,
to
even
my
though
new
that
favorite person in
information
Forest
was
Grove area.
somber, this has been a beautiful meeting, and I look forward
Oh,
to
yes.
the next one.
Superb.
Don't forget. Here's the silver we owe you.
Thank
I
you.
hand it over.
And you continue on then?
Yeah. If everyone finished their pies, everyone done
Mhm.
staring.
Thank you.
Enjoy the show. Like the show? Yeah, I bet you did.
Very much so.
Anyway.
Mhm.
Eldred says, sounds like it was just a pilot. I think I'm going to wait for the series.
Yeah, what do you know? It'll be something kooky where we own a shop of some sort, and there might be other people there coming in and out, and then
A
for
wine
whatever
shop.
reason the shop disappeared. Yeah, a guy or girl in a wine shop or something like that. Then we removed the wine shop for some reason because it just didn't make sense after the pilot. And that's how we got Ryan Reynolds.
2 Gaiuses and a
Wait,
couple.
no,
Jeez.
no, 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 internet, no. We hit the road
Okay.
and leave that particular joke behind.
Okay. You head north and your bellies are nice and full and comforted, and your thirst has been slaked, and you find a particularly pleasant pep in your step, and you continue north. And after about 2 hours, you see up ahead the trees on either side kind of part and open up into an area dappled by sunlight. And the closer you get, you see a building up ahead, something in the middle of the road that seems to be just sitting there. It could be, a thing. It could be something else. You're not sure. It's about 1 to 2 feet tall, not real, kind of slim. And then in the distance behind the one building you can see other buildings. And as you get closer, the trees on the left-hand side kind of thin out so that you can see the river continue on and up to, you see a bridge, you see some docks along the river. Past that, you see on the opposite side of the river what looks like a mill.
I hope they have a nice inn.
I don't think we'll be staying there very often. Depends on, I guess, where Veronica could have gotten off to. So we should probably see where this Silas Marner character is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Does any of the buildings look like businesses or anything, Paul, or any signs?
As you come in, you notice that it is kind of there are a number of buildings and businesses scattered around. The one in front of you at the very front there seems to be a farming supply business with a young man there. The thing you saw on the road was a cat, and it was a little big for a cat. And what was even stranger was the fur of this cat, and the skin beneath, because it was like very thin fur, was kind of blue. It was like blue bordering on dark black, but more blue than anything else, and it had bright green eyes, and it just kind of watched you as you came in.
Well,
And then
hello,
when you
cat. Guy turns it down and looks at it. Well, hello, cat.
and it seems to look up at you and then turns and walks away.
Well, just like my last girlfriend. Anyway, that was the green eye part. That was about it.
Eldred says your last girlfriend was a cat.
No, she had green eyes, Eldred. You're being
Oh,
purposely obtuse.
so you come into town and you notice a number of businesses around. You notice it's just past this farming supply is almost like you want to call it a square, but more often than not, it's just an open area surrounded by businesses. There's you see what looks to be an herbalist, you see a blacksmith, you see um, a number of other businesses that you'd have to get up closer to see what they are. Many of them look
Mm-hmm.
like houses, small, quaint
Mm.
houses. Some are more
Like
quaint
businesses on
than
the first
others.
floor. How
Hmm?
like business on the first floor, resident on the second kind of deal.
Yep. Or possibly a combination of they're just working out of their house and there's no separation at all in some cases. A little further down and to the left, you do see what is obviously an inn. You have a little road going along the left of it, along the river. The docks are like kind of just on the other side of it. In the distance, you can see. You know what? Somebody give me a perception check.
I'll go for it.
Oh,
Or guys
sorry,
will.
No,
No,
go
it's
ahead,
fine.
Bud Trumpet.
sorry. No, go ahead. Nobody said anything, and I had stuff in my mouth. So
I can't find my little icon where I can access my
Well,
skill.
you can use the thing in the lower right with the dice if need be.
All right.
Do you remember if your perception has any bonuses?
Don't think it does. Oh
Well,
well.
two of you notice in the distance kind of the land rise up and there's the trees to the right seem to get thicker. I mean, as you've been coming up the road, you notice it's kind of like a wood to the right. And that wood seems to continue around the outside of Forest Grove and continues up. To the left, you notice on the other side of the river, there's a little area of clearing where there are some buildings here and there, but then there's woods over on that way, and in the distance, you can see those woods kind of meet mountains,
Ooh.
and they seem rather dark, and there seems to be like a misty around the top of the trees, and they peak up above the mist, and it's kind of like a very dark grayish blue. And then in the distance, straight ahead, you notice the land rise up to kind of like a plateau on which you see two very large mansions, one on either side,
Spooky.
and a road that leads up to them.
Intrigue.
I'll bet those people got money. One of them might be Silas Marner, where he lives.
You're muted, Chris.
yep, then one of the crunching. Yeah, they might be. Way too much money, I would think, for Forest Grove, but maybe the tree business is good.
You
Mhm.
you also notice with those rolls, there are quite a few. You just notice cats wandering around of different types. Just kind of some are just lounging on fencing. Some are on the railings of porches. Some are just on people's porches. Some are in the middle of the road. And you also notice on the peaks of rooftops and a number of things, you notice a lot of these crows and these black birds as well.
Would we be able to see if there's any part of the town where there's like a harbor or docks where ships come in?
There are docks on the other side of the inn, where the river has kind of just past it is the mill, and there's at just past the mill, there's a little bit of a large pool that has been created. There's a set of docks there.
I think a lot of people must come in, and the cats might have come from the ships a bit.
Well, I'm assuming what's happening is after the way timbering works by me, cut down the trees, roll them into the river, they float down, are secured probably in that pool of water over there, are brought into the mill and cut. Then the quickest way to get it probably to Seven Rivers is those docks. You put barges on there or boats, load them up with the timber, and then ship them out via that river. Granted, that's how it happens up in Mahame, but I assume something similar to that. Yeah, I know a lot about lumbering for some reason. I don't. Did a summer there. Intern.
Eldred says he's a lumberjack, but he's okay.
Yeah, well, technically that's the milling part of it. The lumberjacks are probably a couple miles upriver. Anywho.
So there are a lot of cats here.
He's a miller, but he's just
Yeah, it wasn't as fun as you'd think. There's a lot of things that can cut your fingers off. I like them right where they're at. So
Is there
obviously I got into adventuring.
What was that, Butt Trumpet?
Is there anything unusual about the cats?
Just that there seems to be a lot of them. The blue one was kind of the most odd one. And
But the rest
since
are
you're
normal
looking,
cats.
it kind of just went off to the side and is just like looking around, sitting there.
I bet they don't have any mice problems here.
That is true.
Should we ask for a side this morning? Oh, the inn? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, we can get the horses. How far up to those mansions, Paul? Is that a ride or a walk kind of distance?
Either or, it's just a matter of time. Forest Grove is not huge.
That is more of that's what I was asking. Like, probably just get the horses stabled at the inn or something.
To give you an example, some of the districts in Seven Rivers are probably bigger than all of Forest Grove combined.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Gaius, remember we have to ask about Veronica's potential boyfriend, right?
Yes, that is one of the questions we'll ask. That and any other known associates in town that we could potentially get more information on. Because let's be honest, not everybody tells everything to their dad.
Mm-hmm.
No child willingly admits everything, especially if she's a tween, whatever word they use nowadays for that puberty area where everything just goes to hell.
Right. But yes, the inn.
You head to the inn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you head around to the left, and you head down the road, and it kind of starts going downhill just a little bit towards an area that seems to be an area where a number of roads come in and meet, and they're all dirt roads. And there's docks to the left where, right on the side of the river there, and it's opened up quite a bit. And there is a couple boats in there. And the dock is not a huge dock. I mean, pretty much these two boats, which are not gigantic boats, they're kind of like yacht size, modern day yacht size, average. Both of those are set up along the side of the dock, and that pretty much fills the dock. And you do notice crates and barrels on the side of the dock. But before you get there, the inn is on your right, and you notice the wooden sign over the door hanging says "The Sunny Day Inn," and it has a big picture of a sun carved into it in paint orange.
They have a nice sign.
Well, this sounds way nicer than I thought it was going to be. Well, they can at least direct us to Silas, Marner.
And maybe they'll have bacon.
Quite possible. That would be awful if Seven Rivers was the only location that bacon existed here in this world.
Don't say that. It's not true. You'll have to learn a new spell. Summon
That's
bacon.
not I mean, at some point I think I can just make bland, tasteless food now if you want. I think that's one of the
So
things I.
Eldred says, "Did you say you have a spell called Summon Bacon?"
No, I do have a spell where I can create food and water. I can
Really?
create 45 pounds of food and 30 gallons of water.
Wow.
Granted,
Okay.
the food, if uneaten, goes bland or goes basically spoils after 24 hours. But it's bland and nourishing, so good news. You'll never go hungry or thirsty. We're basically just blowing money on quality.
Gotcha.
Maybe we should buy some spices. And then if you create food, we could just put the spices in it.
Yeah, it's just carry around bottles of hot sauce.
That sounds good.
Eldred says, "That sounds like a great idea."
But
So you stand
we have
outside
apples
of.
and pies for now. We have apples and pies for right now.
Tie the horses up and go inside.
Go
Take Nikita
inside.
off the horses first.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's help Nikita down.
She
Someone
kind
has
of
to
is
hold
groggy and says, "Oh, we're here, right?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorta.
Okay.
We're just gonna get
And-
you to a chair.
Okay, that sounds really good. I'm tired. That horse ride, I think I need a nap.
Yeah, the blood loss will do that to you.
Yeah.
Wait till we
Go
tell you
in.
what happened to Guy.
Oh,
Oh, we'll get to that inside.
okay.
She won't believe it.
You go inside, and it's a little dark. There's a square bar and some tables around. You see a gentleman who's probably 40s or 50s, cleaning some mugs. You see about 3 people sitting at the bar, older guys. They seem to be talking happily. And you walk in, and the 3 who were talking stop and kind of look at you and tilt their heads, and as if like,
Just give him a
and,
wave.
and like one of them waves back in the center, and the other 2 kind of look at him. The bartender looks at you, looks at what he was doing, places it down, and just kind of walks over to you and says, "Hello."
Hello.
Hi.
Is everybody here human, Paul?
Yes, so far, yeah.
Hail and well met.
Whatever.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to meet you as well. My name is Gaius. These are my friends. We're looking maybe grab a table, a round of drinks, and we've been dispatched from Seven Rivers to go talk with Mr. Silas Marner. Do you happen to know who he is and where he lives?
Guys, give me a perception check. An insight check, actually. Give me an insight check.
Insight. Haha, that other thing I'm good at that barely ever use. 22.
When you say Silas Marner, you definitely detect, like, his jaw get kind of tense. And his eyes narrow a little bit. He says, "Ale?"
Yes, please. We're here to talk to him because apparently his child has gone missing. Poor
Not
girl by the
surprising.
name of.
Yeah, he's one of those houses
Excuse
on
me?
top of the hill.
One on the left or the right?
It's the one on the right.
Yeah, thank you. What do you
Both
mean
are
by
equally garish.
Yeah, I mean they kind of stick out like a sore thumb. Not my personal taste. What do you mean you're not surprised that the girl's gone missing?
Just not. If you grab a table, I'll bring 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is it? 6 ales over.
Yeah. The dwarf's a little tuckered out. We had issues with bandits on the way here.
Well, sucks for you.
Also- Well, actually, it sucks more for the Worthingtons. Do you know any Worthingtons?
I
'Cause
know
we
the
have to pass
Worthingtons
along-
well.
Well, we already met
Reed,
some more of the family
Reed,
members on the
Reed,
road.
Reed just is sitting there as guys starts to say this. Reed is just going.
Reed, there are subtle whatever. Needless to say, we're also sadly going to be delivering some more bad news to any of the Worthingtons in town.
That's unfortunate.
Yes, sadly, we were only to take out one of the bandits, but after we help out with the missing child, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to go on a little bit of a vengeance kick and go find those people. Just saying, I can't help myself. That just irks me when simple folk just waylaid on the road.
The only bandits here in Seven Rivers, I think you'll find on the hill. So good luck with
Forest
that.
Grove? Yes. I'm
Oh,
sure
did
they're
I?
probably. That's okay. I mean, they're probably originally from Seven Rivers, so that's usually how
Don't
it goes.
know.
No?
Don't care.
Nah. Well, great. Sounds like I gotta go talk to a dirtbag later. Fantastic. Yeah, so I will definitely be taking that ale and
Mm-hmm.
any other information about Silas you have that isn't just he's awful and you're not surprised his child has gone away. Would be much appreciated.
The three guys over around the bar in the corner are going, oh, they're asking about Silas. Yeah, I heard that too. The one says, you tell him, Oliver. You tell him all about it. And as the bar keeps pulling the drinks, he just turns and goes, shut up, Clifford. He keeps doing it. He goes, I'm just saying. He goes, I'll kick your ass out of here if you don't shut the hell up. And you hear the other two go, ooh, Clifford, he's told you. And then the guy says, I'll kick all three of you. I've got nothing to lose. I don't give a flying ox ass. So just watch yourself. And he continues and he says, I'll bring them over to your table.
Thank you, Oliver.
Reed leans into the middle of the table and kind of like low enough so nobody else around can hear. He's just like, he is the most unsunny person to be at the Sunny Inn.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure something bad happened, and it may or may not be related to the guy we got to go talk to.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh, I wonder if he slept with his wife or something.
Oh.
That would do it.
Ooh.
Or daughter? I hope it's the wife.
Oh, God.
Either way, it's bad.
Yeah.
Sister? That's
Kind
less
of
weird,
feel like we
right?
need to get some info from Clifford. When, Oliver isn't watching, that is.
Yeah, you can definitely do that later.
Good idea,
So
Butcher.
let's sit down and let Nikita rest her head on this nice wooden table for a while.
Nikita says, oh, thank you. Head just kind of plunks down.
Yeah, Gaius reaches over and puts his fingers on her jugular, just like, yep, just heartbeat good. Pulls out a little mirror, puts it under her nose. Yep, still breathing. We're good.
And then shortly thereafter, you just start hearing,
Oh dear. Just like drape a cloak over her head to muffle the noise.
okay.
My sign should still be around her neck that says, don't wake the dwarf.
It is.
Perfect.
And Oliver comes by with a tray and just starts putting them down. Same kind of flat look on his face. Will there be anything else?
Oliver, are you all right? You seem a little down in the dumps. Worse for wear? Not sunny?
You making fun of the name?
No. It's kind of just you're currently acting the counterpoint of the sign. Just bringing it up.
It is what it is.
Well,
Okay.
thank you
People
for
are-
helping your hard work.
Thank you, my little blue person.
People are usually happy to see us. I'm surprised you're not happy to see us.
I don't think most people are happy to see us, Reed. I think you hope most people are happy to see us.
Oh.
He looks at you, Reed, and says, probably want to pay attention to him when he says stuff like that. And he turns around and walks back to the bar and goes about doing the stuff he was doing before.
Well, that was a miserable man.
Very uncomfortable.
Yeah, right?
I'm kind of glad Nikita's sleeping through this.
Oh, she would have probably punched him right in the throat.
So we're gonna
Or
have
just
to go
got really
up on the
sassy.
hill, huh?
What was that, Butt Trumpet?
We're gonna have to go up on the hill.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
For Silas, Marner, we're going to have to go up there and talk. So, guess we'll get this round, drink this round, pay it off, and then I don't really want to leave Nikita here with Mr. Sunshine over there. So I guess we could just strap her to the horse and she can guard them when we go inside to talk to Silas.
I see no way that could go wrong.
Oh, I'm sure they'll wander off and steal her body. But she'll wake up at some point and bring them back. I'm sure.
Yeah, and she'll know exactly where to go.
Oh, yeah, totally. Don't worry, I'll just locate object and ping the horses somewhere. Not that the horses are objects, but saddles and stuff on them are, so I can find that. Anyway, I'm done rambling.
Maybe Silas will put us up for the night, and Nikita can just get a good rest there.
Reed and Gaius, give me a perception check, please.
18.
Okay.
Yes.
There you go.
Both of you recognize the ale as being Farmer's Glory.
From Stoat's
Oh, hey.
That's where you had it last.
Which with the guy?
Yes.
Oh, hey, Farmer's Glory. Oliver, you make this stuff?
He looks at you and says, no.
Okay, good talking with you, bud. Fucking Jesus Christ, this guy can't just... sorry. I don't know what God I'm speaking of there. Bacchus, give me strength. This guy is testing my patience.
How far away is Oliver from our table?
He's on the other side of the bar. I mean, the bar is on the other side. Probably
If we had to put a measurement on it.
25 feet.
Guys, want me to attempt charm person?
I don't... I have... you know what? Butt Trumpet, I have a question for you. Because I know when I cast some spells, the person that has been affected by it knows they have been affected by it. When you charm a person, does that happen? After the fact?
Huh. I'm trying to think, because last time we did that was for the little boy in the sewer, and he didn't seem to be very aware of anything, but...
Yeah, he was an outlier. Like that, I'm just concerned. Like, it would be great to charm him and get his friendship for however long your charm lasts. But if after that hour, in this brand new town we just went in, people know we just throw around magic on everybody.
That's fair.
We need to talk. Yeah, like, if worst case scenario, we need to get info from this guy, definitely. I'm just worried that I don't want to alienate the town.
Nope, I understand. Just let you know, back pocket, even though I don't have pockets.
You know when that will probably work out well? If we're taking care of the bandits and we get one of them alone. Because it won't matter if he knows we charmed them, because they're probably going to die anyway. Just saying, I'm almost certain, like, this bartender is pissing me off to a certain extent, but he's not. He's just a humble working man who's apparently just miserable.
Over at the bar, one of the guys sitting there goes, Sam Atwood makes it. And the bartender says, I said shut up, Clifford. Leave him alone.
Thank you, Clifford.
Are we gonna try and talk to Clifford before we leave, or one of the other guys?
I mean, we can certainly try to, but I'm almost certain Oliver's going to throw them out at the same time.
We're not allowed to talk to people? This is crazy.
I mean, we could probably
Oh,
waylay them outside.
oh yeah. I mean, we can talk to him, but you can flag Clifford down. Do you want to bring Clifford over to the table? Talk to him over here. We'll buy him a drink.
Okay.
Anyone? Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, we just
If-
said that, Oliver's gonna probably kick them out. Do you really think it's a good idea to draw attention to us doing that?
If that's the case, Oliver's just being an ass.
I mean, yes, but that's been established. Hence why I wanted to charm him in the first place.
Yeah.
You should do it. Maybe you'll make more bunnies.
Yeah, that'd be nothing but a good idea when we're here.
Oh my god.
And then it'd be bunnies versus cats. Yep.
Bloodshed. Instant bloodshed.
Fur everywhere.
What do you mean they'd be
And I don't know
friends?
who would win. No. No.
No.
Have you met a cat before? No.
Sure.
I got kicked out for a moment.
Cats aren't even friends of cats.
Okay.
I mean, well, whatever the group wants to do. My plan is we settle up and we head up, but if you guys want to try to talk to Clifford, talk to Clifford.
I say we don't draw attention to us talking to Clifford yet. I say we wait, see if we can get him alone without Oliver present,
Mm-hmm.
and, not lead on to anybody that we're on any particular side. And like you said, hold off on charming him as a last resort.
So you want me to just
I'm
maybe
gonna
try
think.
and you want me to try and maybe just let him know that we'll be outside if he wanted to say anything?
Sure, Oliver can't stop
If
that.
you can do
but-
it subtly, yeah.
I mean, I gotta walk over to him.
Yeah, like
I mean,
you're
you
gonna
can go-
walk by him and stealthify it. Or do some rogue stuff or thief things.
Sneak up messaging.
I mean, I could probably stay below the bar so that nobody sees me, but that wouldn't be too hard. I
I'm
don't think.
almost certain the bartender's going to know see you getting up out of the. This is a one-room establishment, right, Paul? There's not like
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, but unless he's staring at us the whole time, I could just.
I
not
mean,
be in my
there's
chair.
stairs going up to the second floor, and there seems to be a door going into another place. But other than that, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking there's no like lines of sight being broken, like
No, I mean,
booths or anything.
there's pillars here amongst different things, kind of holding the second floor up.
Yeah.
But other than that,
Well,
Screw it.
you-
I mean, tell
Do
him
you think
if
Oliver
he
would be
has.
upset? I was gonna say, do you think Oliver would be upset if I just walked over there and said, "Hey, we'll be outside. We'd love to talk to you."
Yeah, I mean,
Eldred says, "What can he do?"
say, get out.
Okay. I hop up and I don't draw attention to myself, but I just kind of walk over behind the three guys. So
Who one's
Is-
eating something, looks around and says, is about to say something, but then the one who's obviously Clifford turns around and goes, "Oh, hi! I didn't see you down there." He's drinking.
I'm a halfling. Are there other halflings here at all in Forest Grove?
We occasionally get them. The
Oh.
other one says, "Got a couple short people. That count?"
Sure. That's
Then
me.
we
I'm a
got
short
halflings.
person. Okay. So
Big Sam over here, and the one drinking says, "Oh, shut the fuck up."
So, we'd love to talk to you guys, but Oliver doesn't seem very friendly. So we're gonna start heading outside, and if anybody wants to talk, we might be able to make it worth your while. If you have some info, because we're kind of looking for some stuff in the town, but we'll just
the
be
one
outside.
that seems to be called Sam says, "Fuck Oliver, come on over, pull up a chair. You're buying,
I don't-
we'll talk.
We don't want to get you guys kicked out.
We've been coming here for years," says the middle one. Oliver's never kicked us out. He just says that.
Okay,
We can
Well-
come over to your table if you're buying.
sure, that'd be great.
Okay. And they all three of them kind of get up and grab their mugs and looks over to Oliver and says, we've been invited for dinner. And they walk over to the table.
Well, drinks, and hopefully dinner. What is dinner? What's dinner tonight?
The one leans into you and says, "It's the evening meal. Lunch is usually midday."
No, I know that. I mean, like, what's the food?
I don't know. I don't know what he's making today.
Oh boy. We're off
I don't know
So,
if I have enough money
You
for all that.
see Reed come over with the three guys, and they all pull chairs up around your table.
Real glad we're not drawing attention to ourselves.
Well,
screw
sorry.
And as you say that, Butt Drummer, the one says, "Oliver, we need another round." And you see Oliver say, "Coming right up. And by the way, shut up, Clifford."
I point to each of them and I say, "This is Clifford, this is Sam, and this is
Norman.
So, I agreed to buy them around, and we were just gonna talk. So,
Yeah, he said he was going to buy us around and make it worth our while. And you know, it is late in the day, so I figure you guys would be good hosts, and you know, dinner would probably be involved,
Well,
right?
I mean, we'll see what kind of info you're giving us. Definitely the first round's on us, and if the info keeps coming, the food and drink will keep coming. How's that sound?
That sounds fair.
That's exactly what I'm looking for. Fair.
Mhm.
So, guys, the Silas Marner guy, what's he like? Because we got to go talk to him at some point.
Who you
No,
asking?
Oliver isn't. Clifford. Like specifically looking at Clifford. Clifford.
Oh, Mr. Marner. He's stern, and the other two look at it and go, "Yeah, that's a good word for it."
And
He travels a lot.
oh, guys, come on.
What
Do you know his
sort of
daughter?
things are you looking for, Mister?
I'm just looking to get looking to get the character of a man before we go meet him, because his child has gone missing.
They look at each other, and I heard that too, but I heard she just kind of left. Well, that would make sense.
You see, right there, may have just left. Who said that? Which one? Which one of you?
Norman said that.
Norman. Norm. So you say she may have just left. Why?
I heard she went to see a supposed boyfriend.
Oh,
But
interesting.
my wife thinks she just left because her father's a dick.
Okay. You see, this is good info, because if we go to retrieve her and she's like, no, I don't want to come back, we kind of have a problem there, because we've been hired to find, I'm assuming, find her and bring her back. We haven't talked
The
to
one
him
that
yet.
the
but-
one named Sam says, you know, something else to keep in mind. Norman's wife thinks he's a dick too. So I mean, she thinks everyone's a dick.
Ah, gotcha.
And Clifford
Okay.
says, my wife thinks he's a dick too. And Sam says, Norman or Mr. Marner. And he goes, both probably.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we're getting a feel for him. So he's not a great stand-up fella. Travels a lot. Daughter may or may not left under her own.
And at this point, Oliver comes over with a tray of more drinks and puts another round in front of all of you.
Ah, thank you, Oliver.
Yeah,
Thank
whatever.
you.
And he turns around and leaves.
Oliver seems like a real pleasant fellow.
Happiest
Anyway,
guy in town, says the one, and they all three of them laugh.
I just got to ask real quick: this is his standard setting? This is what he's like all the time?
They look at each other and then just kind of mutually go,
Okay, just wanted to make sure we didn't catch him on a bad day. That's fine.
I'm guessing.
You're
I'm
allowed.
guessing this is the only bar in town.
and the one guy says, Oliver, every day a bad day? And Oliver just looks over and goes, shut up, Clifford.
Okay, this guy's just cheery. Awesome. Oh, so all right. So what about the daughter? Any of you know her at all? Or if she happened to have
They look at
friends?
each other and like, oh no.
Uh,
Absolutely not.
What do you mean? Oh no, absolutely not. Like, She too high and mighty to hang out in the town or something?
Just we keep to our own here.
Oh, so I guess you consider the two houses up on the hill there kind of not a part of Forest Grove, if you will.
Definitely a part of Forest Grove. It's just we're
Are
not
they
going to be
rich?
invited there anytime soon. Let's just put it that way.
They're the
Oh,
rich
believe
people.
me, class inequality, just not as obvious. I mean, it's kind of mirroring Seven Rivers, except we can go up on this particular part without having to pay a fee to go hang out with the wealthy folk. Do you happen to know if this Veronica had any friends amongst the townsfolk at all? Like any
Well,
girls her
they
age
all
that she would
kind of
hang
go,
out
oh
with?
yeah, yeah, yeah. They used to. She used to hang out over at Mini Castavetti's. Oh yeah, yeah. All of those girls used to hang out there. Well, most of them worked there, but yeah, they all kind of hung out. Well,
Mini
it's
Casta.
still hanging out. But if you're working, does that count as hanging? I don't. Yeah, I don't think so. It just is hanging out.
What
Just
is
let.
mini castavettis?
Thank you about trumpet.
She has the stitching business in town.
Ah, okay. She's
You'll
the
recognize it. It's got all the vines kind of braided around the lamppost and up the side of the house. Big, decent sized white house with the pink trim around the door.
And a lot of girls in town work there?
There aren't exactly a lot of girls in town, but the ones that most of them like to work there. Yeah, they go in and work for Minnie. And she lets them hang out and talk as they're working.
Oh,
Oh, so the Marner house up on the hill. That's which one? The one on the left or the right?
It's the one on the right. You'll tell it's the one that doesn't have all the people with weapons walking around it.
Okay. What's the deal with the one with all the people and the weapons?
It's just the mayor's house.
Oh, that's the mayor. Okay.
Yeah, Mayor Calhoun.
Why does he have Calhoun? Well, good to know. Why is Mayor Calhoun's house guarded so much?
Because he's the mayor and he doesn't want anything to happen to himself, and we only have a limited number of town guards, so he takes most of them to watch his own house.
Well,
And Sam says, and in all fairness, there have been some break-ins.
oh, okay. So
Well,
there have
this
been
is
break-ins.
true.
I was just curious. I mean, the Forest Grove seems like a very nice little town. I just
Yeah, it's
looking up
all
at
right.
that house. Looking up at that house, it just seems a little bit much, to be quite honest with you.
Oh, it's definitely much and more, that's for sure.
If a mayor's, I find that if your public officials that you elect into office do their job well, they tend not to have to worry about their lives being threatened for the most part.
Norman leans back, takes another drink, and says, well, if you look at it with a trained eye, it's all a case of the haves and the have-nots.
Oh, Norman, let's not get into a large dissertation about class inequality, and because I gotta actually go and talk to one of the haves in the near future.
And Clifford says, yeah, I know what you mean, because when it comes right down to it, it's all about the haves and the have-nots. That's why we're all in here, just passing the
Yeah.
time, kind of perusing these sort of world-changing events, as it were.
Some of the deepest thoughts I've ever had have been in a bar, looking in the mug of a drink.
And Norman
I
says, you can say that again.
Mm-hmm. Oh. And then kind of like leaning over to the rest of the team. Hey, you guys got any other questions? I'm kind of...
So nobody would associate per se with Veronica, but you would see her in town when she'd go to work, or at least when she'd go to associate with everybody.
They kind of look at each other, and Clifford says, Before we go any further, are we ordering dinner?
Oh, and you know what? We'll order for you three gentlemen because I want to get up before it gets too late to see Marner today.
Fair
But
enough.
yeah, no, you've been nothing but fought, a help. This is the least we can do.
Fair enough. And he turns around and goes, Oliver, 3 specials for Sam, Norman, and I. Oliver says, fuck you, Clifford. It'll be right up.
God, Marcus, he is just a surly bastard.
So anyway,
I think he's getting more angry.
Did he not want to
So-
be a bartender? Why?
so really, Veronica would be seen in town often when she'd go to where a lot of the girls were working.
Oh, yeah. You'd see her all the time, hanging out with her friends or headed over to Minnie's to see her friends. And she certainly didn't work there because she didn't need to work.
Would the boyfriend ever be in town?
They kind of look at each other and go, I've never seen a boyfriend. Have you? I haven't seen one. And Norman says, I just heard rumor from my wife who heard it from someone else who I think heard it from their daughter. So I don't know anything about a boyfriend, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think my wife does either. She just likes to gossip.
Then she most likely would go out of town to see him then. If he is there, that is. Reed, you wanted to ask something.
Do they in the morning here? Do they serve bacon?
Yeah, I think they have bacon here. They have sausage, bacon. Yeah, the farms usually they supply a lot of the stuff. The usual cackleberries and the pork kind of items, as it were, and then there's Hunter that comes into town occasionally with some game that they usually sell Oliver.
Yeah.
So wide variety of stuff. And
Does Oliver usually work in the morning too?
unfortunately,
else?
he's here all the time. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I have any more questions. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. We are glad to help out you estimable people, says Clifford.
Well, hopefully you're going to help us find Veronica, so that'd be good.
Well, that would be good, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, well, missing kids, kind of always a good thing to find them, for the most part.
Would you know which of the fathers per se would have a daughter who would talk to Veronica? Any particular last names we should look for?
Which fathers would talk to Veronica?
No. Which families had daughters that worked at Minnie Castelletti's?
Oh.
So we would know what father to speak to.
I'd say the Fairfaxes, the Ackermans, and the Greens.
Okay.
Can you think of any others? Minnie has different girls periodically, but that seems to be the usual ones that work there. Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I mean, the fathers there who probably noticed Veronica because she was a pretty girl, but I don't think any of them have the, cojones to talk to her because that's like asking for a death sentence.
Yeah, probably. I imagine so.
Yeah, you got to have a real set of brass ones to kind of go for the girl that's way above your station in life.
Oh, there's that too. I was thinking of the wives, actually.
Oh,
Wives
yeah.
around here are pretty strict.
Oh, okay. Does
And you see Clifford go, you can say that again.
Does Mr. Marner, is his wife passed away, I assume? Not in the picture anymore?
One of them was. The other one left him, and the current one, she's still up there.
Oh, so he's on his third wife.
I thought it was the fourth. No, I think there was only three. There was way back before he came, there was one. Oh, I didn't know about that one.
So is Veronica the daughter of the newest one?
They all laugh. Oh no! Oh, that's even he's not that low. No, 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 no.
I okay. Okay. Second wife then, or the second most
Second or
recent wife?
third, I think, if there's four of them. Second or third,
Okay.
I don't. It's tough to keep track of them.
Yeah, no, it's not like there's programming where we could like sit down and watch just rich, trashy people and their lives. It actually sounds like something people would watch, actually, now that I think about it, and it's awful. That's some kind of nightmare fuel. Anyway,
Sam goes, that would make a great play. I wonder if they'd ever put that on here.
I'm almost certain there are some bards out there with the backbone to try to pull that off, I'm sure.
Clifford says,
Just
"Yeah, I'd watch that too. My wife has some produce that's kind of gone bad. That I could bring some and we could watch it together." Norman says, "Yeah, I think I got some rotten tomatoes as well. That would be a fun show."
so, anywho, team, any other questions, comments, concerns?
You mentioned that it would be low of him to have had Veronica with his first wife. Was something up with his first wife?
No, with the current wife.
What's up with the current wife?
They look at each other and just kind of giggle. And, well, they look around and Oliver's busy doing something. They kind of lean in and say, well, his first wife isn't much older than Veronica.
Oh, dear Bacchus. That is
Ugh.
just. How old is he?
50s, I
Ballpark it.
think.
Fantastic. How old is I don't even know. How old is Veronica? About anyone got a guess?
Roll a history check there, guys.
I thought I remembered her being like 16, 17.
I hope it's nope 4. Yeah, whatever Bud Trumpet said, I believe. Yeah, sure. That sounds appropriate and also still bad. That's still bad.
Still gross.
Still not appropriate. And I'm calling it for Balkans. That is not cool. Not cool.
Wouldn't be cool for anybody. Nope.
Not cool. Apparently, it's cool for some people. Not cool. Bacchus puts his foot down apparently, and he says that's not. There's got to be a.
Would a lot of his wives follow in this pattern, shall we say?
No. I don't know about the first one. Yeah, I didn't even know there was a first one. Yeah, I didn't know there was a first one either. He says, well, my wife told me. Oh, okay. Well, she's usually accurate. The second one, the first one here, the second one, if there was this first one that your wife told you about, she was around his age, I think, maybe just a year or two younger. And then the one that left him was older than the current one, but maybe not quite 30.
So they're getting
So they've been
younger?
getting progressively younger. Gotcha.
And
That's
Cliff goes, well, I'll be damned. You're right. There's kind of a pattern there.
Gross.
Yeah.
That's
it's like
very
he's trying-
observant of you.
I'm sure he's got a real tricked out carriage and stuff at some point. And he's losing his hair. I'm sure it's being combed over on top.
Yeah.
I've seen this pattern before. It's a sad slippery slope. Okay. Well, sounds like this guy is in the middle of a midlife crisis. Good. Great. I'm sure he's going to be real pleasant to talk to. Anyone good? We all good now?
All good.
Here? Okay. I think we'll set it up. We'll settle up with Ali over there. We'll make sure we pay for the dinner and the rounds and Reed. I'll pay for one more round for these gentlemen because they've been so helpful.
Reed,
Okay.
as you're doing this, you get a whiff of like this wonderful roasted meat with a sweetness to it. And as you turn around, you see Oliver come with some platters that looks like it has very meaty racks of ribs that he puts down in front of each one of the three guys. And there's roasted vegetables around them and a sauce that is kind of like a purplish crimson sauce over the top of it.
Ooh.
And Clifford says, Oliver, you outdone yourself again. This is one mighty scrumptious-looking display, if I do say so myself. Oliver puts down the last plate and says, shut up, Clifford, and walks back into the kitchen.
Reed just turns towards Guy. I just turned towards Gaius. How are we? Do we have to go? Should we eat dinner?
Yeah, we have. There's a missing kid. You
yeah.
just ate an hour and a half ago.
I can eat again. All right.
You shouldn't be able to.
Can we come back in the morning for bacon, though?
We might be
We
staying
should probably
here.
give him a to-go pie.
We already have a to-go pie. Everybody, we have a round of pies.
That's what I'm saying. Get one of the pies that we got from BJ.
Yeah, Reed, Reed, we already have food at home. We don't need more food. We have McDonald's.
Eldred says, my mother used to say similar things if I remembered her actually being around when I was little, which I don't. But yeah, that's the sort of thing she probably would have said.
Okay.
I mean, just... or you know what, Reed? You got cash. Buy a rack of ribs. Whatever.
I didn't know if we had time for that.
No, not really. I mean, we kind of have been wasting copious amounts of time.
Okay, you're right. We need to be heroes. We need to go. We got to find this girl. So you're right.
I'm almost certain we're going to find her, and she's not going to go home. But that's a bridge we're going to have to cross later.
If we're still here in the morning, though, I definitely want to pop in and just grab some bacon. I won't be long.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to stop you.
Is this
brother?
like the inn too?
You're a grown halfling.
Or are we planning on staying here? If this,
we might. Hey, 3 guys who are also sitting at the table, locals. Hey, is this does Oliver rent rooms?
They're kind of stuffing their face and going, it's really, it's better than before. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, it's the Sunny Day Inn.
Listen, it's been like a very long day. Thank you for... Why is everyone I meet like slightly sarcastic? Is it just me?
BJ wasn't sarcastic.
We haven't been sarcastic. We've been telling you what you want to know. It's just you come into an inn with a name saying that it's an inn, and then you ask me if they rent rooms, or ask us if they rent rooms.
I was
just
asking
pointing
you,
out
Oliver,
the obvious.
Listen, Oliver doesn't strike me as a person who wants people near him at all, ever. So
Norman says, he has a point, Clifford. And Clifford says, that he do, Norman. A very observant individual, this man.
It comes and goes. All right, well, let's...
Don't we all, says Clifford.
So, Reed, when we settle up with the bill, I guess we'll just let Oliver know we're probably going to need a room or 3 when we come back down from talking with Mr. Marner. Unless he plans on putting us up. But I doubt it. By the way everything sounds like he's a bit of an ass. But we'll find out.
I guess you're paying Oliver?
I'll pay another... What you were buying the round, right? And I'll take care of the food and the second round. So, guys, just slides him over a amount of coins that will cover whatever Oliver says.
Okay.
And I will mark that off my paper.
He looks you up and down and looks over your shoulder and says, that'd be 3 gold pieces for everything.
Okay. That sounds really expensive, but okay.
Best meat in town.
Is it the only meat in town?
Depends on your definition of meat.
I mean, I don't want to eat cat. Or stoats. Have you ever been to Stoats Hole? Stoats. Have you ever been to Stoats Hole?
I don't get out of Forest Grove.
Stoats are like weaselly things, and they eat them. It's a little
really
weird.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Anyway, here's the 3 gold.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate your patronage. And he turns around and just kind of tosses it in a bowl.
You have a nice day. We might see you later if we need rooms.
He does. The first you say, "Have a nice day," and he's like, "Unlikely." And then you say, "You might see you later." He just looks at you and flat faced says, "Joy, I look forward to it."
Okay, I knew you'd like us. Bye now.
I'm enchanted.
Oh, I don't do magic.
Will there be anything else, young master?
Nope. If we need a place to sleep later, we might see you again. So, bye.
I guess I'll probably see you.
I head back over to the table and we'll try and help Nikita up.
Okay.
Yeah, just gotta carry her and drape her across one of the horses.
I just have an arm.
Reed, you realize that the cost was for 3 pretty impressive dinners and 3 rounds of drinks for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it still seemed a little pricey. But you know,
fair.
Yeah.
Ish.
Just so you know, guys. I'm running out of money.
Yeah, I figured that was going to be a problem for all of us, which is why we're doing this job. If worse comes to worse, we can just become bandits, but we become bandits, where we only steal from bandits.
Well, there's another option.
Huh?
When we meet
Fighting
the Silas
back into the
Marner.
rivers.
Well, there's that, but Oliver's really poured a big one back there. If we get to this Silas Marner and he's not a nice guy, I might not feel too bad, if something found its way into my pockets while we're there. Just saying.
And you know what Bacchus has to say about thievery, Reed?
it's next to godliness, says Eldred.
Oh, no, nothing. He doesn't give a crap.
So it'd be okay if something went
care.
into my pocket? Okay. All right.
I'm morally indifferent.
Or maybe Silas will be a great guy and he'll put us up for the night and we won't have to pay any money.
Only one way to find out. So we'll be running up that road and running up that hill.
Running up that hill.
All right.
Eldred says, "I've heard of stranger things."
Oh, look. Is that Kate in a bush? I don't know.
Up to Silas Marner.
So, yeah, we mount up and head up the hill.
Okay.
We could make a deal with Bacchus, who doesn't give a crap if we steal things.
Yeah, he's, even the stuff he cares about, he's kind of ish on.
Well,
Not drinks, though, right?
That's something. If the gods,
I get the
ish on
vibe
you,
from
watch out.
I get the
Eldred.
vibe that inside he's more of just like, hey, cool, whatever.
Eldred says, "Chill, God," sort of thing.
Chill God.
So you go out, you leave the inn, and the last thing you hear before the door shuts behind you is, "Shut the fuck up, Clifford." And door slams, and you go out, you get your horses. You go around the back of the inn. Small little dock is to your left on the river. You head forward, and there's a few more businesses here and there. And then it kind of opens up a little bit. And at the base of the hill, you see some houses. They're decent looking houses, but nothing amazing like on top of the hill. But you also notice that the land it's a gradual slope down to the right towards the tree line. And along at the bottom of that slope, there's kind of this area that kind of is dusty and just not a lot of growth around there. I mean, there's the occasional bush, the occasional tree, stuff like that. But down there, you notice a lot of houses on these little stilts. And the houses all look very similar and very plain. So you continue on, you kind of follow the road between the nicer homes compared to the ones on stilts, and then gradually work your way up the hill. And as you get up there, you notice that kind of a definite separation. The road kind of creates a little bit of a valley up until this point, and the two mansions are definitely in their own little sections of the top of this hill. The one on the left looks like it's overlooking the cliff, which overlooks the river, and that one actually has a large wall and fence around it, surrounding the entire estate. And you see people in armor with weaponry kind of patrolling the area. You go a little further and back, and there's the mansion to the right. And that too is kind of overlooking a lot of farmland and overlooks the woods that are down below that seem to go on for quite a distance. And that one doesn't have the walled in area and stuff. It just kind of is like open grassland behind it. And it's whereas the first one, the walled in one, looks like a very, very, very old style mansion. This one looks far more modern as far as things go. It doesn't look like it fits in with what you've seen around Forest Grove. It kind of looks like something you might have seen on top of the cliffs, the estates on top of the cliffs overlooking Seven Rivers.
It's a bit
Some of
schmanky.
those.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I guess we
Well.
should approach.
Fancy. Yes.
You go up, and there's a long winding road up to the mansion, and there's a place to get off your horses. There's a guy there who looks like in his 20s. He's late 20s probably. Big guy, big muscles, very rugged looking. Says, "You're here to visit the Marner residence?"
Yes, we have been dispatched from Seven Rivers in regards to Mr. Marner's daughter going missing.
Go, go. I'll take the horses for you, sir, and I'll take good care of them. I'll water them and such. You go inside. They'll probably be expecting you if they know about this.
Look at that. There's a long and winding road that leads to his door.
Strange.
You look
Anyway,
down. There's some beetles going across the path.
Anywho,
Anyway,
go and thank you so much. What's your name, sir?
Oh, Richie.
Richie. Thank you for your help. Yes. Just go knock on the door, or
Okay.
is there any kind
Yeah.
of protocol with Mr. Marner? Okay. So we go and knock on the door.
Okay. You knock on the door. A little bit of time. A couple minutes go by, and the door. You hear a number of locks, and the door opens, and it's a young woman who's probably maybe early 20s, maybe high teens, depending. And very
Hello.
pretty and incredibly pregnant.
I say hello.
Oh,
Hello. Can I help you?
yes, we are a team of adventurers that was dispatched from Seven Rivers. We're here to talk to Mr. Marner regarding, I believe, Veronica.
Oh my. Yeah. Oh, please come in. Come in. I'm sure Silas will want to speak with you. He's not here at the moment, but I do expect him back soon, I believe. So please come in. And she
Okay.
steps aside for all of you to come in, and then do you?
Yes.
Sure.
Paul, what kind of, how is she dressed? Well-to-do, or servant's dress is basically what I'm looking for.
Oh, definitely not servant's dresses.
Okay. Are you, Mrs. Marner?
Oh yes. Theodora, just call me Theodore.
Ah, well, thank you, Theodora. So I guess
Please
obviously.
come into the sitting room and make
Oh,
yourself comfortable. You must be very tired. And you see her kind of lean down a hallway and says, um, Missy, could we get some refreshments? Yes, madam.
I lean into Gaius, and I'm just like, I just kind of look at him, and I'm like, refreshments, yes.
I'm sure they won't charge. Oh, Theodora. Um, I guess while we're waiting for your husband to get back, I'm curious. How old was Veronica? Um, we heard teenager, but we don't have a like we know kind of had a physical description: blonde hair, blue eyes, that kind of thing. But
15, going to be 16 rather soon, I believe.
hmm. Now I'm just going to take a wild guess and assume that you're not her original mother,
She kind of
unless
blushes
you
and
have
says,
unless you
oh,
have
no.
aged so gracefully you have turned back time somehow.
Oh, you are too kind, but please go on.
I mean, it's a powerful magic, and I would love to learn that. But I was curious. So she is 15, going on 16. Uh, do you know if she had friends or anyone, or did she confide in you at all?
Oh, Veronica and I'm not her actual mother, so she didn't speak to me too much. I don't think she liked me very much, quite honestly. Not
Oh,
that I haven't tried, but she
it's
did.
replacing her mother, so it's kind of it's sad. These things,
But
it's real sad.
she did have her friends that she would see in town.
Oh, do you happen to know any of their names?
Oh, absolutely. There was Gabby Fairfax, Rachel Ackerman, and Michelle Green.
Well, thank you very much. That now I'm curious, Theodore. Do you believe she was kidnapped, or did she have like a boyfriend maybe that she kind of snuck out to meet and maybe is just there? Did you get any
I've
impression? I know you might not have talked, but
I've heard her talk about a supposed boyfriend, but that was from when she went to Seven Rivers with her father.
so a boyfriend maybe in Seven Rivers. Okay.
Um, yeah, but I wouldn't put too much stock in that, even though I don't know, just a feeling. Uh,
Well, would she ever would she ever look for letters in the mail?
I mean, she always liked to go down into town and get mail for us, but it wasn't like she was waiting for letters or anything. It wasn't that sort of excitement. It wasn't that
Mhm.
schoolgirl bubbliness that you get. I mean, all of that was missing except when she was, chatting with the other girls. Um,
Hmm.
then they seem to have all sorts of secrets. There are a couple rumors that have, you know, I've heard, which I don't think I'm supposed to. I don't think they were supposed to have reached my ears, but there are some rumors that she might have run off, and the more prevalent thing is that there are and no offense, little one, I don't know if this is what you are or not, but there there is a tribe of goblins northwest of here. A number of people think they may have taken her because she would go for walks in the woods occasionally.
Oh, did she? Any particular direction she would go? Favorite haunts, if you will?
Uh, I don't know about haunts. She used to hang out at Minnie's down in town. That's all I know about that.
Oh, the seamstress.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
All the
Okay.
girls used to like to hang out there. I mean, a lot of them work there. It was a very popular place for them.
Yeah, if your friends are working a shift and you don't have anything better else to do, might as well go out and have a chat. Oh.
Just then, the gentleman, the young man who took the very strong and muscular young man who took your horses, comes in through a back door and he's holding an axe, and he says, "Is everything okay, Miss Marner?" And she goes, "Oh, everything's fine, Richie. Everything's fine." He says, "Very well." And he turns to you and says, "I've watered your horses, folks, and right now I'm letting them wander the backyard a little bit and giving them the opportunity to eat if they'd like."
Ah, that is much appreciated, Richie.
Oh, no problem at all. Will there be
Thank
anything
you.
else, Miss? And Theodora just kind of blushes and smiles and says, "No, that's fine. Thank you, Richie." And he bows and turns and leaves. And shortly thereafter, you hear this what sounds like wood being chopped.
So, Theodora, you don't seem to be from Forest Grove. Are you from Seven Rivers?
Oh, yes. How could you tell that?
Well, I was. It seems like Mr. Marner has business in Seven Rivers, and you are a little bit more cultured than what would be found in Forest Grove. So it was
She blushes again and says, "Well, thank you very much."
wasn't a bit of a reach. So
You
it's
at this
it's
point
very
you
nice.
hear a door open and you hear boots and you see Theodora get kind of nervous and stands up and brushes herself up and just kind of puts her hands in front of herself, and you see a older guy, probably just about your height, Gaius.
Mm.
Hair kind of grayish, salt and pepper, but mostly salt, kind of combed back and swooping in the back, uh, receding hairline, prominent nose, uh, dressed very very finely, and he looks and says, "Theodora, I thought I said I don't want strangers in the house." And she says, "Oh, I know, Silas, but they come from Seven Rivers. Who are you and what are you doing here?" And he says it towards you.
I am I'm Father Gaius. I am a member of this adventuring group you see in front of you. We have been dispatched by the higher ups in Seven Rivers in regards to your missive about a missing daughter.
But what took you so long? It's about time. My God. Anyway,
Well,
yes, she's been missing for weeks now.
well, between whatever bureaucracy kept it from getting to us and the fact that every horse in Seven Rivers seems to have caught some ungodly plague, it took us a bit to get here.
Oh, that I forgot about that. I got word on that.
Yeah, we
You would think
literally
the
had
Baron,
to beg,
you would
borrow,
think,
and steal horses.
think
Neither
the
here nor there,
Baron
sir.
would have some other way to get you here. I mean, after all, I am father to his future bride.
Are you? Well, holy
Yes,
crap.
he is. I offered up my daughter, and he agreed that when she was of age. And Theodora says, "Silas, you never mentioned." He just says, "That's none of your concern, Theodora. What, don't you have something to do?" And she's, "Oh, certainly, Silas, absolutely. I'm terribly sorry." And she kind of, with her head down, leaves the room. Yeah.
Out of character, this is me.
Okay.
Because Gaius is definitely remembering, they're like, when the guy was telling us about the mission, it's like, yeah, it should be like a scullery maid or something. And he's like,
Yep.
Okay. Did he see? Can I do like an insight check from
Sure.
the past?
Sure.
Let's see if
from
that was
an insight check. You can do an
I
insight
guess,
check on this guy, Silas Marner.
yeah, I'll do an insight. Yeah, I'll do an insight check on that to see if the claims he's making about his daughter is. Yeah, it's a 27. So
He
I see into
absolutely
his soul.
believes this to be 100% true.
Yeah, okay, so he believes it, but that doesn't make it true. So, yes, well, Mr. Marner, it's it's the way of the world sometimes that but we are here now, and that is all that is important. And we've already begun our investigation a little bit while we were waiting for you. Talking to some of the townsfolk, your wife was gracious enough to pass along what little information she could give us, but all of it was helpful. I guess from you, sir, we can get the real nitty gritty, all the information we really need to help find her, because that's why
Oh,
they
sit
gave us
down.
this job.
Tell me, what do you need? Let me do that right now. What do you need?
Well, information is going to be chief from you. That guy, turning to the rest of the party, guys, if you got anything, please just interject. Don't let me talk this entire time. We have specialized.
Eldred
We
goes,
have
too
found.
late.
Yeah. Well, we have specialized. We have found multiple missing children that has been recently occurring in Seven Rivers. Um, so we found that first off, I guess you said it's been 4 weeks, 3 weeks. How long
In
exactly?
between there, yeah.
Okay, so there's that. Between 3 and 4 weeks. What was? Were you? You travel for your work. Were you in town when she went missing?
I believe I was in Seven Rivers at the time.
Okay, you were in Seven Rivers.
I think I might have been on my way home from Seven Rivers.
Okay.
Have you ever taken her with you into Seven Rivers for the business that you do there?
Oh yes, absolutely. She always used to look forward to that time. She loves Seven Rivers.
What would she do there?
I've taken her to a number of nice places. We visited the casino. She loved the markets there, getting all sorts of things that we can't get here. She loved the views from up atop the cliffs.
Cliff top is a very nice view up there.
I took her to see a show one time. I think she really quite liked that.
Did she make any friends over there in Seven Rivers when you were visiting, or was it?
I
quick
believe
for
I
work?
believe she people naturally seem to like Veronica, so
Mhm.
there were a couple people that she seemed to really like that she would kind of make a point of going back to visit. I get the feeling because sometimes I would have business to do and let her spend the afternoon in the market or around the shops, especially up in the overlook.
Okay.
Is there anybody you could think of who might have wanted to kidnap her?
Everyone really liked Veronica.
Well,
She's a sweet girl.
here's the thing, sir. Do you have enemies?
I have
Has
tons of
anyone
enemies. I'm a businessman.
has anyone sent a letter of ransom to you?
No, that I have not.
Hmm.
You know what?
Okay.
Hold on. And you hear him walk out of the room and says, Missy, Theodore, have we received any mail in regard to Veronica's disappearance? And you hear some kind of Silas. Okay, ask Richie also. See if he knows anything about this, and then if there's anything that any of you can think of the affirmative, come in and let me know. Right away. Absolutely. And he comes back in and says, I don't know anything, but I'm having well, we'll know if anyone else knows about any letters or anything.
Mr. Marner,
Much.
if I may ask, because any information could help, what, if you recall, was the last conversation you had with Veronica prior to her disappearance?
That's a very good question, little one.
I try.
I think it was a discussion about us going to another trip, taking her along on another trip to Seven Rivers sometime in the future.
So she had something to look forward to.
Oh yeah, she was all excited about it.
So if there hasn't been a ransom demand, we can assume it's might not be one of your enemies. or at least not someone that necessarily has any negative aspect towards you, or somebody that's looking for money, because if they took her, they might not know her value, potentially.
You speak of her as if she's a piece of property. Not
No,
sure how I feel
but
about
more
that.
of not as a piece of property, but her. Let's
Part of a very
when you
influential family.
This is true, little one. That's okay. I see your point.
and to be quite honest, Mister Marner, when bandits take people, what they do is they view people as property. It's a sad truth. When we by the way, Mister Marner, you how do you travel to and from Seven Rivers? Is it by horse or by boat?
I've traveled both ways. It depends
Well,
which is more available at the time, actually.
just word of warning. We were traveling on the road here, and a few days between Stoat's Hole and here, bandits waylaid the Worthingtons and killed Johann and some of his family members. So, just a personal warning for you if you're using the roads. There are now bandits between here and Seven Rivers.
So Johann Worthington is dead?
Yes, and some of his other family members.
Interesting.
Does that mean anything to you, Mr. Silas?
Oh, absolutely, but not in regard to Veronica.
Oh, it was more of in case these, because with the proximity to Forest Grove, these bandits might be a potential people of interest to look into to your missing daughter. Criminals in the area. It's a good place to start as a potential. But because we're not from the area, do you know of anything else that's dangerous, or we heard of goblins from the northwest and stuff? Basically, we're not
Huh.
familiar with Forest Grove. What have you heard around here?
Well, yeah, I mean, the goblins have been up there, but they kind of stay to themselves and they're out of range
Mm,
enough that they don't bother anybody. I think they know better than to bother anybody. The
yes.
forest, just you don't go in the forest. That's
Uh, we heard that sometimes your daughter liked to take walks in the forest, though.
I think she just kind of went in the a little bit. I mean, where the forest really gets dangerous is when you kind of go into the forest, if you know what I mean.
I think I understand. It's more of just trying to figure out where she went last. So, if you weren't here, you were on business. I'm assuming your wife and your staff were here with her, and they were the last
Mm-hmm.
ones to see her. I guess. I mean, it's getting to be about dinner time. We don't want to necessarily interfere with your staff and you and your wife, but generally talking to people and getting information and trying to piece together the last day she was seen by people,
Okay.
and then going from there we can potentially follow her trail through witnesses, maybe, and even backtrack a little bit to see if maybe there's a clue where she told one of her friends, oh, I'm going to go to walk in the woods to the east, and then see where that goes. Or, oh, does she have now you say she's betrothed to the baron?
Yes.
How many people know that?
Well, I would imagine the palace. It's probably very common knowledge.
Mm,
Here, I
mhm.
you know I don't like to brag or anything, so I just kind of have kept it to myself.
Okay. Well, I guess
Veronica
the reason
knew.
why.
Veronica
Veronica
did know.
knew?
Right.
Yeah,
Mm,
How did she
interesting.
respond?
I would imagine it was a surprise because she seemed in shock. So I would imagine the idea of becoming royalty must have been quite a quite a thought for her. That I would
Quite
imagine.
overwhelming. Yes, I can imagine so. How long before her disappearance did you let her know that? Prior to your discussion of going to Seven Rivers?
She's known for probably maybe not a year, but close to it,
Mm,
three
Hmm.
okay.
quarters of a year.
Okay.
You know what? That makes sense because a few of the people we've talked to, she had mentioned that she has a boyfriend in Seven Rivers, so that makes sense that she isn't dropping the hint that she's going to be royalty, but she can't help but brag a little bit because she's excited.
I never thought about that. That's a very good deduction, young man.
It's just basically what we're going to do for you, Mr. Silas, is we'll probably have to ask you a couple more questions. Like I said, your staff and family. We'll go into town, ask them questions, and kind of because it's been so damn long that we're going to. It's an investigation at this point, and then hopefully from there we can figure out the direction she went or was taken.
No, you do whatever you have to do. You just let me know, keep me advised, and you find out if any one particular person took her. You let me know, because well, I have connections.
Oh, it's made apparent if you're potentially going to be in law with the Baron himself. So it's quite a coup.
I think the Baron just knows good breeding when he meets it, I guess.
Yep, that's definitely what it is. Ooh. Anyone else got anything?
No, I mean, is there anybody in particular you definitely think we should talk to here at Forest Grove that we maybe haven't thought of yet? We heard about some of her friends, their families.
Yes, the Fairfaxes, the Ackermans, the Greens.
Yeah, those were some of her friends. I wouldn't think any of them would want to hurt her.
No, but
No,
they
of
might
course not. But
they might know where to go.
Oh,
They,
okay.
they might
Yeah.
they might have a lead on where she went if she
Very
went
good.
somewhere on her own.
As a businessman, sometimes I have to make unpopular decisions in town. So, that there's a lot of possibilities there.
Yeah, but they would also know you well enough that they would probably not be dumb enough to make that mistake, if you will.
of course.
You would think so. You would think so. But
Hope so.
of course we can hope so, but I found that a lot of times people are stupider than you realize.
Any
Oh, I
particular
am.
recent altercations among the townsfolk that you recall?
No, just, you know, business doesn't always go in people's favor sometimes. And a lot of people get kind of hot under the collar about it, I imagine.
Yeah, I can imagine so. I guess the other thing we could do is, with your permission, have a look about her room to see if maybe there was
absolutely.
some scrap of paper with some information, something of that nature.
Okay. I'll take you up there now if you want.
That would be much appreciated. Thank you.
Okay. He goes and leads you up some steps down a hall to a room that nice room, pretty decent size for a child's room compared to what you're used to growing up and things such as that. Lots of pink, an awful lot of pink. Pink and white ruffles, pink this, pink that. Bed, a big feather bed with lots of pillows, and a large picture window that looks out over the land to the east, and the forest, and kind of like the land behind the house and the forest beyond it.
All right. Well, I think we're going to take a look around, if that's with your permission, Mr. Marner.
Absolutely. If it'll help, please do.
Well, first, I'm just going to do a few things to assist. Guys pulls out a book, opens it up, and casts borrowed knowledge on himself,
Okay.
which I will now be proficient in investigation for the next hour.
Okay.
And then cast again on himself enhance ability, which ignore that dice roll for some reason, because I'm not using that part of it. I'm casting Fox's Cunning, which will give me advantage on intelligence checks for the next hour.
Okay.
So I am now an investigating connoisseur.
Eldred, what did he just do to himself?
Like you just see a little bit of like blood running out of my nose and just like out of my ear. I'm like, oh, okay. Let's look around. Oh, that hurts just a little bit. Double
Should
down
we
on
be
it.
worried, Eldred?
Eldred looks at you and says, "Probably."
Can
So
you
I'm
help
going to
him?
investigate the room now.
Okay.
Help him look, Eldred.
Give me an investigation check there, Gaius.
With advantage.
Yes.
Oh my
Shit.
gosh.
Woo!
I
Whoa!
find the secret. And then whatever she's hiding in the room. And then I right.
Veronica's in the closet.
A diary
Have you
with
checked
a map.
under the bed? Under there for 4 weeks, sneaking food and going to the bathroom.
You find a lot of young girl stuff. A closet filled with brand new dresses, many of which have probably never been worn. Lots of shoes and jewelry, none of which looks to be very expensive, but just lots of it. The one thing you do find that seems to be the most valuable is it looks like you have found her diary.
Yes. We gonna
Which
read it.
Which guy is like, I feel weird about this. Butt trumpet, you do it.
I mean, okay.
Listen,
Sure.
I am a 30-something man, and I don't feel comfortable reading a 14 or 15 or whatever year old girl's diary in her room.
Okay. Well, first question:
I draw the
is
line
the
a few
diary
places.
locked?
Yes.
Reed, you want to help me out with that?
Sure. I can try to open it. Is it like a pickable lock?
Yeah.
It's a girl's
Can I
diary. I would assume so.
It's got 5 combinations.
Is her dad standing right there?
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Marner?
Is it?
Any entry from this could be very helpful to finding out her last thoughts before her disappearance.
He goes, "Open it. I don't care."
Thank you.
Okay.
I'll buy her a
I
new
gotta
one.
roll, Paul.
Roll a, sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Got it. Do. And that's an 11.
Okay. It takes you a little while.
Everyone just standing watching you.
This is embarrassing.
Everyone is
Stop looking at
watching
me.
you. Everyone
Everybody turn
is
around.
just staring. Matter of fact, an older woman walks by the bedroom and stops and pokes her head in and just watches and looks at what you're doing. And you're playing with it for
extra
a while.
pressure on me.
He doesn't perform
Guys.
well under pressure.
And then
Guys
you hear
sits
her
on-
say,
leans
"Hey,
on the
Richie,
windowsill
come
just
take a look
staring."
at this. This little boy's doing something with Veronica's diary." And then you see Richie pop his head and go, "Oh yeah, what's he doing?" But you get your picks in there and everything, and you're trying to. You can't figure out how it is, and you're getting you're thinking, well, maybe if I kind of leverage it like this, and basically you snap open the lock because it was kind of a weak lock to begin with.
Okay.
And you realize there was also like a little kind of lever on the one side that had you pushed it, it probably would have just released it. But yeah, it's
Okay.
open.
Master
All right.
lockpicker we have.
I want to look and see the most recent entry.
I just
Okay.
hold it out to. I held it out to butt trumpet. There you go.
Most recent entry says, "Dear diary, had Brussels sprouts last night. I hate Brussels sprouts." That's the most recent one.
Are you
How about
reading it
I
out
go a little
loud?
before that?
Okay.
Are you reading it
No,
out
I
loud?
want to. I'll hold it off for anything relevant, but I won't read anything aloud unless I see something good.
Okay. Give me an investigation check there, Butt Trumpet. Okay.
Ahoo!
You find a couple things that are interesting. You go back through the diary, and this takes a little while. You find little discussions of her walks in the woods, of the different animals that she saw and everything, that she really seemed to like seeing these animals, especially because she thought she would, this close to town, she didn't think she would actually see that many animals. But that made her very excited. She also found some places that had flowers, the likes of which she's never really seen before, as well as a number of ones that she had seen in town, but knew that no one was really growing them. So now that answered her question there. She seemed to really like walking in the woods. She also talked about a young man named Chip in Seven Rivers. He worked in a shop just one of the shops around the outskirts of the market. He worked. It was a tobacconist they works in, and he basically works in the back in the storeroom and with all the product. But through reading through the diary, you found how she ran into him in the market itself when he was getting himself lunch. And she just thought he was dreamy and beautiful and just all sorts of wonderful. And she's made a point of going back the next time that she was in Seven Rivers to talk to him again. And now a more recent, near the end, you see the entry where she puts that her father has offered to take her to Seven Rivers again. And she's very excited about that, but she's most excited that she'll get to see Chip again.
Mr. Marner, would we be able to hold on to this to refer back to?
Sure, as long as it comes back with Veronica, that would be fine.
Of course, it's purely to be able to track her movements and refer back to when we are questioning witnesses. Thank you.
It makes perfect sense. Not a problem.
Did Gaius find anything else with that amazing roll?
With my double nat 20, yeah.
I would say
her corpse in the attic above, or was she buried
flowers in the attic?
Or buried in the cornfield on the side of the house, secret window style?
Your investigation was for within the bedroom, so
it's fine.
What you do find is a number of little things, whether it be the furniture or knickknacks or things. A lot of stuff seems to be handmade. You also find a number of little vases that look to have been handmade, and there's flowers in most of them, many of which that have dried up and just kind of gotten dry. Some of them have just rotted, but there's a lot of. She seemed to like flowers. Pinned up on her wall are crudely drawn pictures of flowers and crudely drawn pictures of some people and landscapes and such. I mean, it's not horrible. It's not stick figures. You can tell there's no artistic learning involved in the drawing. It's just kind of like what a young person would do without any artistic teachings.
A quick sketch with no skill behind it. Gotcha.
Right.
Is there a bedside table or a desk that has drawers?
Yes, and it was in there that guy has found the diary.
Okay, nothing else in the drawers?
You find a candle, in there, a quill, and loose paper.
Anything on the loose paper?
No.
Okay. How far away is Silas from us?
He's by the door.
Okay. I'd like to get a little bit closer to Gaius and confer with him quietly.
Oh yeah, the Gaius recognizes this, takes like a knee and is like looking down on the ground to get his head right by a butt trumpet.
While this is going to be helpful, I don't think this is the only diary she has.
No?
No. I think that she probably had a different one with possibly more information than this.
Mm. You think that'd be somewhere, probably not in her room then, right?
I don't think so.
Maybe somewhere else she either favored in the house or nearby.
Maybe with
We'll
a
make
friend.
sure, yeah, make sure, I'm kind of absent-minded. Make sure you remember that because, Paul, looking out the window, does it look like the sun is setting? Is it getting later in the day?
It's getting lower in the sky, yeah.
We probably
Mm.
won't be able to question and talk to everybody here today
No,
or
we'll
in
probably
town
have to do
either.
this again tomorrow.
hmm hmm And we might want to try to maybe talk to people if when Silas isn't around,
Yes, exactly.
because he seems to have a kind of domineering personality. Is the best, nicest way to put that.
Mm.
What was that?
Looks like in here she's enjoying going to the tobacconist shop in Seven Rivers.
I don't think Veronica smoked.
I don't think so either, but she seemed to make friends with a young man who worked there. Maybe it was about her age, so maybe that's why. So we're going to
I
keep
didn't
that
know
in
about
mind, and we're going to see if any of her friends might have heard about that at all.
Oh, okay. That sounds very good.
And
Good line of
well, we were
questioning, young person.
the other thing we were saying was we're probably seeing how late in the day it is for you and your staff. We'll probably want to question them and everything. Maybe tomorrow. That way you can have dinner and relax. You've just traveled from Seven Rivers. It's or that's where you were coming from, sir, or somewhere nearby.
Not today. No. I had business in town.
Ah, well. Are you planning on traveling again anytime soon, or will you be around?
I can put off my traveling until we can make sure that my daughter is safe.
Hmm. Well,
That's far more of a priority.
oh, most definitely. It's if you're going to be on business in the area, we could just, if you're not there, consult with your staff and just let you know if we have any more questions for you, that kind of thing. That way, we're not taking up your time, and you can still do your business while we're doing ours.
Okay, I would just if you're going to be questioning people in town, I would highly recommend you check in with the mayor, introduce yourself, let him know that you were sent by the Baron
Hmm.
to take care of this for me, and this way you won't fall under suspicion if you're going around questioning people.
That is an excellent advice, sir. Would you recommend we do that now, or should we wait till the morning?
Seamus doesn't go to bed early, so that should be fine.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. That, and he seems to have a lot of guards. Do you know what that is about, Mr. Marner? Has there been issues over at his house recently?
He's the mayor, so he has control over the guards.
Yeah. Okay. I get what you're saying. I guess yes. We'll. I guess we'll make a trip over there now. That way, in case, because we've already talked to some people in town, we don't want to make it any more suspicious.
Very good.
Anyone else have any questions, comments?
Nope, I think I'm good.
Nope.
Eldred, you good?
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for your time, Mr. Marner. We'll be talking again
I'm sure we
probably
will.
tomorrow at the earliest. But I guess we should go see the mayor before it gets too late in the day.
Very good. A good idea, probably. So you head out and you head right over to the mayor's.
Yeah, pretty much. Is this like super close to the Marner house, or is it we get our horses, go down and up a hill and around?
It it's not like across the street, as it were, even though it
Yeah.
technically is.
Gotcha.
But you get over there like without too much, exertion.
Gotcha.
Got kicked out again.
The guards at the front gates say, "Can I help you?"
Hail and well met. We are an adventuring team from Seven Rivers, sent by the Baron and his people in regard to Silas Marner's missing daughter. We were referred to him to go talk to the mayor to let him know we were going to be doing some investigations in and around town, and we didn't want to arouse local suspicion without at least letting the mayor know.
The from behind a tall, brown-haired female in armor says, "Go let the mayor know. I think he's going to be having dinner soon, but if you hurry up, you can probably maybe they can get in to see him before his dinner's ready. So run up there, will you?" It says, "Yes, ma'am." And the guard you spoke to kind of turns around and runs up the little bit of an incline to the front, opens up the door, goes in. He's gone for a couple minutes and then comes out and basically waves. And the woman turns to you and says, "Open up the gates for them." And another young man opens up the gates and says, "If you just head up to the front door there, they'll make sure that you see the mayor."
Much appreciated.
And I'll see you on the way out.
We do those things.
Okay, you go up. There is a older gentleman at the front door, and he says, "The mayor will see you in his study. Follow me, please." He takes you down some hallways. It's a really, really nice house. But you can tell from the style it is incredibly old, but it has been kept up very nicely. And they takes you through these big double doors into a study with bookshelves on all the walls, a large fireplace, a picture window looking down over the river. You see the mill just to your left, and sitting behind a large mahogany desk, a very fancy one, is a halfling with very fair skin, rosy cheeks, receding hair, greenish eyes, and he's smoking a pipe, and he's dressed very nicely. He says, "Ah, visitors from Seven Rivers, how exciting. Do come in, do come in."
Thank you, Mayor Calhoun.
"And so polite as well. Please, yes, make yourself comfortable. Would you care for some refreshments?"
I will never say no. As a man of Bacchus, I legally can't.
"I don't know the way of your gods, but I like them already." And he goes over to a table and takes a decanter and starts pouring out an orange copper-looking liquid into little tumblers for each of you and hands them out to you and says, "So," and takes one for himself, sits down and says, "What can I do for you today? What brings you to our beautiful forest grove?"
I must say, I was pleasantly shocked and surprised at how lovely your town is, might I add.
He seems to take pride in that, and
Yes,
seems to smile.
what brings us from Seven Rivers, sadly, is the disappearance of Veronica Marner.
Yes, very
the
sad
Baron's
news.
people. The Baron's people had us dispatched out to investigate her disappearance.
So Silas does know the Baron. Interesting. Huh.
Yes. I don't know to what degree he knows the Baron, but like I said, we were approached by his Eldred. It was his major domo, correct?
Lord Quaid, I believe.
Yes, Lord Quaid. Thank you. Lord Quaid and his people passed along the dispatch, and we headed out here as quick as we could. Sadly, with all those horses getting sick in Seven Rivers, it took us a bit to get horses to get here, and that was fun. Also, Baron, just so you're aware, sir, on the way here between here and Stoats Hole, we ran into bandits on the road.
Oh, that is a danger of travel in today's world, unfortunately.
And sadly, Johann Worthington and some of his family members were killed.
Oh my, that is
Yes.
sad news.
He's
That's terribly sad news.
the furniture maker, correct?
Yes, very talented family.
Well, there's luckily we came upon the rest of the family a little ways down the road the next day, and we were able to warn them and let them know about what happened. Granted, we drove the bandits off and killed one of them, but sadly not all of them.
Sounds like you did what you could, and on behalf of the town, I wish to thank you for your services in helping this poor family with what they're going through. That is very sad and terrible news. Now you said
We wanted to let
Johann
you
is
know that, yes, Johann is, and a couple children, I believe, too, right?
It was Johann. There was a younger man and three women of different
late
years.
teens,
I think.
early 20s, late 20s.
Yeah, it was all of the younger in the late teens, early 20s, I believe. Yeah, it was five deaths. Sadly, I don't know if the others were related
horrible.
to him or not, but we
But yes,
passed
more
them
to
along.
more to why we are here. We mainly wanted to alert you to let you know. Silas felt it was best that we, at the very least, give you proper notice that to locate his daughter and to get a better idea of the nature of her disappearance and perhaps her previous whereabouts prior to her disappearance, that we do a bit of investigation among townspeople, and we didn't want you worrying that there were any suspicious characters asking unusual questions, and so you knew properly that it was a investigation.
Oh, well, thank you very much. He says, that's very forthright of you. I appreciate that. And if you're on the Baron's business, well, that's important. And we don't get esteemed visitors here to Forest Grove too much because we're a little out of the way. I'll tell you what. I will arrange a party in 2 nights' time, and we'll invite anyone who's anybody here in town to the party, and it'll be in your honor. And this way, well, he leans in and says, quite frankly, it'd probably be the best opportunity to question people is after they've had a little bit to drink. So this might help.
You and I are of a mind, Mayor. Question for you: did you happen to know Veronica at all, or?
Oh, we all knew Veronica. Lovely girl. Young beauty.
Do you? So there hasn't been any ransom demands or any normal signs of kidnapping. Do you think there's any reason she would have left town willingly? Not a question you want to ask.
I don't have any children myself, but I understand that teenagers can be quite difficult and have thoughts in their heads that, well, sometimes are not very logical. So, I mean, that's all I can think of.
We mostly
you ask a teenager, and they're going to disagree with that and say that they probably know more than you do.
Oh yeah,
and with many people, they might not be too far off.
From time to time, it's so, Mr. Mayor. I guess unless you can think of anything pertinent information that would be helpful for us, we might come back to ask you some more questions, or maybe even some of your guardsmen. Which, by the way, has there been any issues or incidents? You have a lot on staff at the moment. Has something happened recently? Because sometimes if there was a criminal element that took her, it might be related to other things that have happened in town.
One of my people, I believe, mentioned there was an occurrence a while ago. It's the only thing I can really think of right around here.
Mm-hmm.
They're not on this evening, but I can make sure they're here 2 nights from now for the party if you'd like.
That would be most helpful. Tell me, the incident that they're talking about or that you're thinking of, was that 3 to 4 weeks ago?
I think it was longer ago than that, actually.
Just seeing if that corresponded when Veronica went missing. But
Yeah,
it
no, I think it
could
was.
potentially.
I think it was a good few weeks before that.
Okay. But worth checking out regardless. All
Absolutely.
information is good information. Reed, what's
Okay,
up,
well,
Eldred? We good? You guys got anything?
if there are no more questions this evening, I have a roast, I believe, that's waiting for me.
And
Well, we
I gotta
certainly
go.
don't want to interrupt that.
No, and we
Absolutely.
gotta go talk to a ray of sunshine named Oliver about rooms.
Ah, yes, Mr. Sunnyday. You good luck with that.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the vibe we got.
Well, thank you so much for your cooperation,
Oh, anything
Mayor
I can.
Calhoun.
Any other questions that you have that if I can answer them, I will.
We won't be a stranger then, and we thank you very much for your hospitality.
Oh, you certainly won't be a stranger. I'll be seeing you in like 2 days.
Oh, most certainly.
And
All
he
right.
gets up
Well,
and
shall we?
kind of motions you out and
Yep.
walks you
Bye.
to the door.
Gaius polishes off the drink, and thank you. Oh, do I recognize that vintage Paul that I just drank?
Okay, it was a whiskey.
Mhm.
It was not a great whiskey. It was just kind of middle of the road. You saw other little bottles and casks in kind of like a rollaway bar not too far from
Yeah.
here. And this didn't seem to be from any of those.
It's like 7, but it's definitely 7 Rivers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was
Huh.
not one of the more better known ones. Like even Butterbeer had better quality whiskey than this.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the cocktail. 7 Rivers, right?
Oh, absolutely.
They have such a wide assortment of cocktails.
Oh.
I appreciate you giving.
I've been collecting quite a
well-
few of them myself. A few times I've been there. I always try to come back with something new.
Yes, and if you pass Stoats Hole, whatever you do, don't drink the crap they have distilling in the basement. It is paint remover, basically.
Oh, I know. I've had it.
Oh, okay. So you understand.
There's a time and a place for spirits like that, I think.
Oh, yes. It's mostly mourning the dead.
I guess if
Well,
okay. Yes, little one?
well, you enjoy. Oh, nothing. I was just going to say you enjoy your roast, sir.
Oh, I plan on it. Looking forward to it.
Have a good night, sir.
You as well. You make your way out of the mansion, and one of the guards leads you to the gates. The guards there nod to you as you go on your way, and they lock and shut and lock the gates behind you.
All right. To the inn
Well.
for a good night's sleep.
Okay.
Yes.
You head to the inn, and Oliver is there behind the bar. There's a few more people in the bar this time of evening. Quite a few of them are eating. Oliver looks and says, "Oh,
Good news. You won't be lonely.
I like being lonely."
Well, bad news. You won't be lonely. We need rooms.
How many?
I guess it depends on the size of your rooms. You see how many people we have, Oliver.
I
don't
have 5
know.
rooms if you want them.
Well, the question is, do they have more than one bed in each room, or
They could. I've got some rooms.
Let's go with 2 doubles. 2 doubles
what
and a
was it?
single. That worked last time.
sure? There
Okay,
you go.
So 3
I'll
rooms.
arm wrestle Nikita for the single. Oh, I win.
Right.
Okay, so that'll be 3 gold a night then for 3 rooms.
Somebody got
Guys,
this?
I gave you all my money.
Yeah, that guy slides 3 over. And like, there you go, bud.
Very good. He reaches beneath, grabs 3 keys that have numbers on them, slides them across, and then turns around and goes about his pulling more beers and such for different people.
Eldred, we bunk buddies again?
Sure.
Reed, you get to experience a different type of snoring with Nikita. Have fun.
Okay. I could probably sleep
Also,
through
don't.
anything.
And then guy turns, looks at the bunny. You don't kill the dwarf. Huh?
You Reed, you go in the room and Nikita starts kind of sniffling.
Oh shit, she's allergic.
I put the cage as far away from her bed as I could and just kind of
There's no
motioned to
cage
the
anymore,
rabbit.
bud.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You could have it
All
bunk
right.
with butt trumpet or myself.
Well,
Yeah,
you
I-
volunteered yourself, and you've already got a single, so why not have the bunny bunk with you?
I'll try and walk the bunny over to butt trumpet and Eldred's room.
Okay.
Just
I knock on the
volunteered,
door.
guys, but okay.
He's not in the room though. I had to make the decision on the fly here.
Eldred says,
All right.
I guess.
Don't be surprised if it comes back purple and we did some funny magic stuff to it.
Oh, okay.
Eldred goes,
If you make it different colors,
that
that'd
sounds
be
like a good idea there, Butt Trumpet.
good.
Guy's head pokes out of his room. Did you just say you're going to do magical experiments on a rabbit?
No, good night.
No,
Okay.
not at all. Unless, of
Just
course,
making
you
sure you're
want
not
to take
doing-
the bunny for the night in the room all by yourself.
I'm almost certain I've become, we've worked out an agreement between one another. But no, you got him. Just don't kill it, because it might try killing you.
So as long as we don't kill it, we're fair. Everything's fair game. Got it. And he shuts the door.
Yeah, Eldred. Screw with the bunny. See if it doesn't mess back.
Just the color.
what?
If you change the color.
Oh, okay. And
It's like, hey, is there
everyone,
anyone I can gamble with? I think I'm going to take the rabbit over Eldred, too, in case anyone's curious.
Everyone, what, Mr. G?
I was just going to say, everyone goes in about their business and gets ready for bed, and I think that'd be the perfect place to call it an evening. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Tune in next week to let's see what happens with this mystery in Forest Grove. Same Grognard time, same Grognard channel. And now more than ever, when things are tough and there's violence and madness in the world, we can all make a difference. We can all work towards changing things to how they hopefully should be. But the one thing we should all do to make a start at anything is to be kind.